Game 23 of the Cape Cod Baseball League season brings us back to Gov Fuller Field for a matchup with two of the top teams on Cape Cod. Tonight, the Falmouth Commodores host the YD Red Sox, and here to open the door alongside Ben Haller and Andrew Della Piana, I'm Ryan Martin. Ben, let's go last night at Lowell Park. Falmouth 7-6 winners at Katuitt in 7.5 innings.
Yeah, we don't really see a whole lot what we saw last night. They didn't give Katuitt a chance to hit. That's right, the visiting team won in a game that was cut short after 7.5, and that was the Falmouth Commodores. Yep. Now, they didn't score any runs at the top of the eighth, so it's not as big of a deal as maybe if they took the lead, but it was such a resilient comeback win, down 4-0, down 6-3. We've seen a couple of wins for the Commodores this year like that, and I think it's really impressive moving forward.
Big reason why we see those wins, Ben, is because of the talent on this Commodores team, Andrew. Talent that was just recognized a few hours ago when the 2025 All-Stars were named. 4 Falmouth Commodores will start that game. 8 overall will play. That's both most in the league, including Trevor Balmer. We'll see the righty start at Red Wilson Field. We'll see him start against the Red Sox again tonight.
Yeah, that pitching staff hasn't been phenomenal this past season, right? It's one of the higher ERAs in the league. The hitting is what done the job in a lot of these games this season. But Trevor Balmer has really been at the face of that pitching staff. He's the only qualified pitcher in the league right now with a 0 ERA. He makes his 3rd start of the season tonight. And over 14 innings pitched, he has been that guy to set the tone early in games and give this team a chance on the offensive end.
He'll match up against the YD lefty and Chris Downs making his 4th appearance, Ben. It's a YD Red Sox team that was atop the Cape Cod League standings for a while, just got jumped by Brewster in the East Division standings. It's because of some errors on the base paths recently.
There's a lot of reasons that YD has struggled maybe in the last week compared to the beginning of the year. The base running mistakes are a big part of it. Look, we've talked about it so much on our broadcast, just how successful base stealers have been in the whole league this summer. We've seen it for the Commodores, for other teams. It's not been that way for the Red Sox. Good opportunity for Falmouth catchers to raise those stats.
Yeah, good opportunity, and a good opportunity for both teams looking to get to first place in their respective divisions. It's the Red Sox and Commodores. It's Downs versus Balmer coming up next with first pitch set for 6 p.m. here at Gov Fuller Field.
Are you looking for that perfect pregame meal? Supreme Pizza has you covered. Its extensive menu has everything from pies and calzones to salads and subs. And with its online ordering system, delicious food is just one click away.
It's an honor to support the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Supreme Pizza is open every day of the week. Order online or stop by their store located at 147 T-Ticket Highway and try a slice today.
You'll always be safe at home with the Diana Lucevero Group at Compass Real Estate.
Hi, I'm Michael Kasparian, President of the Falmouth Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber is here for the benefit of the whole community. Whether you're a local business or a visitor, Falmouth has endless offerings, from its beautiful beaches and historical sites to its local shopping and eateries. The Chamber bridges the 8 villages, providing visitors with all the tools to make their trip one to remember. Our visitor center is located in downtown Falmouth, just off of Main Street. Come by and meet our team. The Falmouth Chamber of Commerce, your community connection.
I'm Antonio Morales from Norfolk, Massachusetts, and I'd love to get a shout out to my mom, my dad, my sister, and all my supporters.
Place all alone of the Cape Cod West Division. It's their 2nd game they'll play, tied for first place in the West, and they will take on a team from the East for the 3rd time. It's the YD Red Sox, 2 of the best teams in the league. Will clash here at Gov Fuller Field with first pitch coming up in just a little bit. Ben Haller alongside Andrew Della Piana for this matchup between Chris Downs and Trevor Balmer. And Ryan Martin sat down with some other big news, some All-Stars before today. He'll talk to Kent Schmidt, one of the 8 All-Stars for Falmouth. Ryan?
Thanks, Ben. Now joined by Georgia Tech first baseman Kent Schmidt, Falmouth Commodore, and now, as of a couple hours ago, a 2025 Cape League All-Star. Congrats on that honor, Kent.
Thank you.
So how'd you find out about that today, and what does that mean to you to be a Cape League All-Star?
Antonio was in the dugout, and he was looking at it, and he was like, hey, you made it, because he did too. And then when I was in the locker room, Salty pulled me and was like, yo, Kent, and then he told me everything, but I'm excited.
Yeah, it should be excited. I heard Antonio heard from his mom, too. I guess social media found out before you.
I guess so.
And for you, it comes on the heels of a 3-hit day yesterday at Katuitt. What was working for you at the dish in that win against the Kettleers?
Yeah, I think just being myself. I know the hits will come. Just don't kind of worry about the process instead of the results. I've been feeling good, just not the results exactly. But no, I knew it'll come eventually. So yeah.
That game, a final after 7.5 innings. You ever played a game like that was called midway through an inning?
No, I haven't. There's usually lights, but
first time for everything. In that game against Katuitt, you didn't see Jared Advincula in the lineup, but the now Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket, he just got named an All-Star starter with you too. What's it been like to see him in the Cape and now be an All-Star starter with him?
No, yeah, it's exciting. Especially, I'm excited to get him to Tech finally, but no, it's exciting. Obviously at 400 last summer and him whatever he is now, but no, it's exciting.
Did you text him at all since a couple hours ago finding out, or are you going to get him a text soon about being an All-Star?
No, I'll give him a text when I go back in. I haven't been on my phone yet, so.
There you go. I bet you got a lot of unread text messages after that All-Star selection. He'll be an All-Star starter with you. Guy who won't be an All-Star, but you're seeing him here in Falmouth. It's Ryan Zuckerman, also making that transfer to Georgia Tech. What's it been like to learn about him and get to know him here before you get to Atlanta?
Yeah, no, it's awesome. Big thing with Tech is everyone's kind of like a family, so kind of just being with him earlier and kind of like, I guess, forming that friendship already, it's awesome. We hang out on the off days and everything, so it's been fun.
Favorite thing to do with him so far?
We went to the mall in Hyannis, I think. It was me, him, and Ashton, so that was pretty fun.
There you go. Awesome. And he plays a similar position to you, the first base, third base. If you guys worked at all in technique and trying to get the understanding you guys play the same position before you get to Atlanta, too?
Yeah, not really yet. I think when we get to Tech, we probably will with the coaches and everything, but no, we've just been enjoying getting to know each other now.
It's bonding time at the mall in Hyannis and get to know it. That's 2025 Cape League All-Star Kent Schmidt and Falmouth Commodore. Ben, back to you.
Thanks so much, Ryan. We have a lot on this broadcast about the All-Stars that were just announced around 2 o'clock earlier today. But for the matchup tonight, the YD Red Sox stroll into Falmouth. For the second time, they come to Falmouth. Matchup number 3 overall on the year. I think it was a game where Falmouth, beginning of the year, still had some of those struggles. Felt like it was could have been a stepping off point. The first time they played YD at home, they let that one get away from them. Second time, though, maybe gave them some confidence. It was only a tie, but it was at the time where YD was the best team in the league. And I think since that tie, Falmouth has played really well.
I think so, too. That being that tie back to start the month of July where YD just got off that 9-game win streak. Then they go on and tie them at Red Wilson Field to really get the job done and eventually have his third matchup of the season between these two teams.
For pregame festivities, here's our public address announcer, William Rosen.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Arnie Allen Diamond at Gov Fuller Field for tonight's Cape Cod Baseball League matchup, featuring the visiting Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox and your Falmouth Commodores. Hey fans, attention to all dog lovers and canine enthusiasts. Tonight is the most tail-wagging event of the year. Bark in the Park. This dog-tastic evening is presented in conjunction with the Black Dog. Please stop by their table tonight and welcome Ruthie and Frederick, two adorable, adoptable puppies from Safe With Us Animal Rescue, who is here tonight with Black Dog. Be sure to enter the Commodores raffle tonight for a chance to win a Black Dog t-shirt. Please note that we do have dog-free sitting zones available tonight. And now it's time to meet tonight's starting lineups. First for the visiting YD Red Sox. The manager of the Red Sox is Scott Pickler. Leading off for the Red Sox from Pittsburgh, number 4, A.J. Nestler. Batting second, the designated hitter, number 25, Jace Tharnish. Batting third, the right fielder, number 8, Braden Dowd. Batting fourth, the center fielder from UCLA, number 44, Will Gasparino. Batting fifth, the shortstop from Long Beach State, number 7, Armando Preseno. Batting sixth, the second baseman from Rutgers, number 12, Yomar Carreras. Batting 7th, the first baseman from Georgia Tech, number 2, Will Baker. Batting 8th, the catcher from Tennessee, number 3, Garrett Wright. And batting 9th, the third baseman from TCU, number 9, Jack Bell. The pitcher for the YD Red Sox this evening, a left-handed pitcher from Cal Poly, number 32, Chris Downs. And now, it's time to meet the starting lineup for your Falmouth Commodores. First off, the manager in his first season with Falmouth, World Series champion, Jared Saltalamacchia. Leading off, the designated hitter from Cal Berkeley, number 8, Carl Schmidt. Batting second, the center fielder from the University of Maryland, number 2, Antonio Morales. Batting third, the shortstop from the University of Southern California, number 18, Adrian Lopez. Batting fourth, the first baseman from Georgia Tech, number 10, Kent Schmidt. Batting fifth, the catcher from Texas A&M, number 27, Bear Harrison. Batting sixth, the third baseman from Georgia Tech, number 35, Ryan Zuckerman. Batting seventh, the left fielder from Rutgers, number 36, Tristan Salinas. And batting eighth, the right fielder from Florida, number 9, Ashton Wilson. Batting ninth, the second baseman from the University of Tennessee, number 26, Chris Newstrom. The pitcher this evening for your Commodores, a right-handed pitcher from TCU, number 28, Trevor Baumler. And now, fans, we ask that if you're able to please rise and remove your hats as we honor America and those who protect our freedoms with the singing of our national anthem. Tonight, singing is Troy Clarkson. Troy is one of Falmouth's storytellers, writing his column Troy's Take in the Falmouth Enterprise for more than a decade. As a former board member of the Falmouth Commodores and longtime supporter of the Falmouth's home team, Troy has frequently written about the value of the Commodores and what he calls the soul of our community. When not volunteering in Falmouth, Troy serves as the CFO for the city of Brockton. Troy, whenever you're ready.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it one more time for Troy Clarkson. And now it's time for this evening's ceremonial first pitch. Throwing out tonight's first pitch is Matthew Gilda. Matthew is joined by his dad, John, general manager of the Black Dog General Store in Falmouth, and an avid Commodores fan. As you may know, the Black Dog is a major supporter of the Commodores and in tonight's endeavors, a bark in the park. Whenever you're ready, let's see what you got. There you go, right to bear. Strike. Matthew is 6 years old and a lifelong Cape Cod baseball fan and attends at least one game a week. Matthew, thank you so much.
Anthem's been sung, lineups have been announced, and we're getting closer to first pitch between the Commodores and the Red Sox, and we'll take a look at both teams' starting pitcher for today's game. Chris Downs takes them out for YD. He's got a 1-0 record on the year, making his first start of the summer. One of the bigger pitchers you're going to see on the Cape, 6'7", 230 frame. He has done a pretty good job in all three appearances. All of them have been relief, though, in just a total of 5 minutes.
And we're looking at a pitching matchup that features two of the better pitchers on Cape Cod in terms of that ERA. This will be interesting, though. The first start for Chris Downs. Those previous three have been out of the bullpen. Baumler's a guy that has really turned into that starter role. He was a Sunday guy for TCU, and he's really made a name for himself, Ben. That 0.0 ERA, the only qualified pitcher in the league to have that mark right now.
Well, Baumler's been a star, and that's why he will be an all-star for the Commodores. The all-star starting pitcher. And Trevor Baumler, only 4 of those appearances are starts, but like you said, he has not given up a run yet this year. He's got 15 strikeouts to 4 walks, and the whip tells the story as well. Less than .9. He's got one of the better whips in the league. And overall, 2 pitching staffs that were, with the first time these two teams met, you'd say these are 2 of the better staffs in the league. You look at now, both teams have had some struggles on the mound. A total of 18 runs given up the last 2 games for YD. And Falmouth, it's been the offense that's carried them as of late.
And for YD, that is very unlike them, if you will. This was one of the better staffs ERA-wise coming into this game. The offense has really cooled down as well, Ben. That has definitely not helped them out this summer.
Now we'll get to take a look at the YD starting lineup this year, the first 9 that they will put out. A.J. Nestler and Armando Briseño, 2 guys that are getting their first starts for the Red Sox so far this summer. And ADP, the first thing we look at, only 3 guys in the starting lineup hitting above the Mendoza line.
And they lost some really key players, whether that was A.J. Soldier, who is putting his name into the MLB draft in a couple of days. You also think about a guy like Corey Miller as well from East Tennessee State. Guys who were staples in this lineup that were hitting over 250. A lot of RBIs, a lot of home runs, just consistent at-bats from those guys. Those guys are no longer in this lineup, so other guys have to find a way to step up for this team.
You don't go up, top to bottom in this lineup and see a bunch of SEC, ACC guys. A lot of mid-major, a lot of lower major, like the Big Ten on this YD team, but definitely doesn't mean they aren't capable. 73 degrees, first pitch coming up from Gov Fuller Field. It is, if you ask me, a perfect evening for baseball. A little bit of wind, not doing much, blowing more in than anything. So not sure if it's going to be too hitters friendly on in the park day at Gov Fuller Field. And Trevor Baumler's getting ready to throw the first pitch of the afternoon. Game 23 of the Cape League season for both of these teams. First pitch comes in, fastball high and outside at 5:59 p.m. Our consistent streak of early first pitches continues today, just a minute early, even with all the bark in the park festivities. Here's one of those Red Sox making his first start of the Cape. It's A.J. Nestler, the Pittsburgh Panther, coming up this season after starting his career there. Had a little hiatus in between, went down to Orlando to play for UCF in some warmer weather, but he goes back up to Pittsburgh in the portal this year. Fastball high, and Baumler started him off 3-0. Showed that Baumler doesn't walk a lot of batters, only 5 walks this season in his 4 appearances, and he has gone deep in a couple of them, especially those 2 starts. Shows bunt on the 3-0. Baumler still finds the zone to make it 3-1 on A.J. Nestler. It's a Pitt team that's going to take all the help they can get this upcoming spring, though. did not make the NCAA tournament. We're a lower seed in the ACC tournament. 3-1 hitters count. Fastball, cold strike. Top part of the zone. Bombers fought back to run it full. .73 degrees comes with a little cloudy today. No real chance of rain though tonight. And the payoff pitch is inside for ball 4. Commodores will line up like this behind the TCU Horned Frog, Trevor Baumler. New face in center field as Micah New is going to step away for some time to prepare for the MLB draft that is tomorrow. Antonio Morales takes over for him at center field, and a couple of the newer Commodores in the corners in Wilson and Salinas. Squared around a bunt into foul territory. Diving play, and he made it! Ryan Zuckerman. An early web gem from the Georgia Tech third baseman. That's how we get this game started. That's how Baumler gets his first out.
That is just a remarkable effort on the bunt by Tarnish. That didn't look like it had a chance of being caught. Full extension from one of the biggest guys on the field out there at third base.
Well, I was going to say, you don't have many 6'5" third basemen. That's a reason you don't see a ton of those plays made. Baumler will take it, though. Now that's 1 on, 1 out to start this thing off at the top of the first inning. And the 3-hitter Braden Dowd will step up to the plate. Change up, cold strike on the outer corner. Dowd, one of the teammates of Adrian Lopez this past season in Southern California, entering the portal after this past year. That's where he is right now. One of the 6 guys in this Red Sox lineup hitting below 200. He's at 177 this year. Leaves that pitch off the plate. This is one of the matchups you might have seen in the regional. Trevor Baumler got to see USC. Fastball, called strike on the inner part of the plate by today's home plate umpire, Jeff Merzell. Out there with Jeff Kinney at first base. Joe Labella at third. Baumler ahead of the count, 1-2. And they'll fire home the 1-2 pitch. Good job by Bear Harrison to block it behind the plate. Recent transactional news for the Commodores, too, speaking of catchers. That's just Bear Harrison and David McCann's spot now. Mark Quattrani will head over to the Bourne Braves, stays in the league and in the division, rather. Bourne really needed a catcher. Quattrani probably going to get more playing time there. 2-2 fired home and blown past Dowd. So Baumler settled in nicely after a 7-pitch walk to start things off. A nice play by Zuckerman, and now the strikeout of Dowd.
It's definitely a position that the Bourne Braves really needed. Jimmy Keane was not very good in his time at Bourne. 8 for 56 this season with 33 strikeouts. So Quattrani looking to fill that void there for Scott Landers.
Still a runner on first, now 2 outs at the top of the first. Another bunt later on, this time a slower one. Zuckerman will have a chance to throw across the diamond. He got him! Ryan Zuckerman takes a couple of bunts, one to the air, one to the ground, but he makes both plays, and that is how we wrap things up at the top of the first inning. Whitey gets the leadoff runner on, but nothing in. We head to the bottom of the first on Cape League TV.
Hi, my name is Matt Burgess, General Manager here at Falmouth Country Club. We have a unique 27-hole public golf course with a beautiful layout that is family-oriented. Kids play free here at Falmouth Country Club. Getting on the course is quick and easy with our app. You can book tee times, get yardages with GPS, use our interactive scorecard, track your stats, and receive exclusive in-app offers. Falmouth Country Club is a true Cape Cod classic and a local family favorite.
See you on the course.
On behalf of the Cape Cod Baseball League, we would like to thank the following league partners for their continued support: Kinlan Grover Compass, Massachusetts State Lottery, Milton Cat, OT Sports, Quincy College, Reader's Hardware Supply, Southern Recognition, T-Mobile, Velo Sports, and of course, thank you to Major League Baseball for over 50 years of support.
I'm Antonio Morales from Norfolk, Massachusetts, and I'd love to get a shout out to my mom, my dad, my sister, and all my supporters.
Commodores face another lefty today at Chris Downs. They'll get their first look at him, and Downs gets his first look at this Falmouth Commodore lineup. Again, looks different without Mike Anu in it. Everybody kind of shifts up a spot. Ken Schmidt settling into the cleanup spot today. They're really going to need some of the new guys 6 through 8 in the lineup. All guys who came in the last week and a half or so. Zuckerman made a couple of nice plays the top half of the inning.
And how about Ashton Wilson is too? He belongs at that 8 spot once again after a 4 RBI night against Katuitt. Going 2 for 4 in that one with a run scored. First big game for him. He said after that one it was a huge sigh of relief for him to kind of get finally that monkey off the back he was looking for. And hopefully the same can be said for the Commodores, who have statistically the best offense in the league.
They'll have to do it against Downs, who again, just 5 innings total in his 3 appearances, all of them in relief. But an ERA below 2. He's only given up 1 earned run this year. Whips about average, sitting at 1.4 on the season. And with Commodores leadoff man, Carl Schmidt steps into the right-handed batter's box and takes the first pitch to the left side of the infield. Easy throw across the diamond for Bell for out number 1. That third base position has got a lot of action in the first 4 outs of this ball game.
I think Zuckerman would have liked that play a little bit more than the 2 he made in the first inning.
I don't know. I think if you ask him that he made those plays, he's going to say he's
of course,
happy he's got the challenge.
Who doesn't want that on their tape?
1 gone early and just 1 pitch for the lefty Downs. Now a lefty-on-lefty matchup with Antonio Morales, who's had to see a lot of lefties recently strike 1 at the knees. It's just seen a ton of lefties this year, this Falmouth team.
And even, too, in the early parts of the season, it was very heavy righties. Falmouth didn't see that first lefty till game 6, 7 of the season.
Now Morales grounds one, this time right field, but they had him shifted. It's the shortstop, Brashenio, and he makes the throw to first for out number 2. Shift works with the lefty-on-lefty matchup. It's 3 pitches, 2 outs in the bottom of the first for the Red Sox.
You don't really see a shift on for a guy so early in the lineup as Morales, but he's been consistently pulling that baseball as of late. Not so much a slap hitter like we see with a lot of leadoff guys.
Well, we've said both of these teams' best days on the mound have not come as of late. It showed the last time these 2 teams played in that tie. It was a 9-9 tie. Adrian Lopez with 2 outs. And it was one where Falmouth just kept coming back. Didn't matter what the deficit was. And it felt like every single time it was just the next half inning they were able to get something on the board. Now Lopez drills one foul down the third base line. That'll get up and out of play. Lopez has been a mainstay in that 3-hole for the Commodores so far. Just 1 for 4 yesterday. Did have an RBI and a run as well. And he gets to see a couple of his older teammates from USC. Braden Dowd in the lineup. Dean Carpentier out of the lineup today, but on the bench for YD. Lopez jumps ahead in the count now, 2-1. Well, this is Dowd's first start of the summer, like we said. It's also his first start of the year. He made all 23 appearances at Cal Poly out of relief, and now Lopez gives this one a drive. Dowd a couple steps back, but he'll wave his glove in front of it for out number 3. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Chris Downs, what he ordered, and just 1 runner total reached in this first inning. We go to the second. No score on Cape League TV.
Hi, I'm Jim Murray, owner of Falmouth's historic Clam Shack, now Jim's Clam Shack. Located on scenic Falmouth Harbor, Jim's Clam Shack is a destination for the best seafood and sunsets on the Cape. We're open 7 days a week, so stop by for lunch or join us for dinner on the rooftop deck. Bring the entire family to try our wide selection of seafood and kid-friendly option. We deliver the freshest products to your plates daily. Jim's Clam Shack, proud supporter of the Falmouth Commodores.
On behalf of the Cape Cod Baseball League, we would like to thank the following league partners for their continued support: Veolia North America, Wilson Sporting Goods, Yockey Foundation, Netting Pros, Falmouth Publishing Company, Butler Sporting Goods, Sports Fix, Margaritaville Resort Cape Cod, Sunderland Printing, Delmar Vacation Rentals. And of course, thank you to Major League Baseball for over 50 years of support.
Hi, I'm TJ Coates. I'm a right-handed pitcher from the University of Nebraska, and I'd love to give a special shout-out to my brother. Love you, big man.
Top 2 at Gov Fuller Field. This is the first week of the season. Only 2 home games will be played at the Gov. And next week, similar situation as the All-Star break. Short All-Star break on Saturday and Sunday. But Trevor Baumler faces the middle of this YD lineup. It's the first time Baumler's faced the Red Sox this year. And he will see 5, 6, and 7. And the first at-bat of the Cape League season for Armando Pregame, the Long Beach State Dirtbag.
I always find that funny how Long Beach State uses their team name. Everything else, it's just beach.
Just beach,
But
yeah.
for baseball, it's the Dirt Dogs.
Yeah. Well, Pregame starting at shortstop today for YD. I think it might show you where the offense is for the Red Sox at this point, with just how many guys they lost. The 2 newer guys lead off in 5th today for the Sox. First pitch, fastball high to Pregame. But it's a program in Long Beach State with a very rich history out in California. Now that one to Zuckerman, but it's onto his glove. Pregame gets a gift to first base. We're going to rule that an error on Ryan Zuckerman after 2 beautiful plays in the top of the first inning. The easiest play he's had today is going to be ruled an E5.
One where he just didn't look all the way in. Don't know if he just didn't know he put his glove far down on the grass, but definitely a mistake he doesn't make a lot.
Well, maybe he's just not expecting a ball that easy. I don't know, after what he got in the first inning. The lefty Carrera steps up to the plate. He's got one of the higher batting averages on this Red Sox team. He's hitting .283. Just first pitch go by is down 0-1. OPS just 654 though. An outstanding freshman season in Piscataway, New Jersey this past year at Rutgers. Baumler looks to first. Named to the All-Big Ten freshman team this past year at 45 starts for Rutgers. Got a lot of production in those 45 starts. Had some power, had 5 home runs, and he loops this one into shallow right field. That'll drop it for a base hit. Just first to second for Pregame, but the first 2 reach on an error and a single. And the Red Sox are in business here in the second.
And those power numbers you were talking about for Carreras. Does a good job of utilizing a lot of different parts of the field instead of just going over the outfield. Simple dunk into right center.
Red Sox trying to strike first. The second, they got one at scoring position with one as first as well, and nobody gone. To reach the bottom third of the lineup, and Georgia Tech first baseman Will Baker. Change up, hit off the knob of the bat, popped into shallow center. Could be trouble. Morales coming up, diving and making the play. Commodores defense maybe wanted to get dirty today. That's 2 innings, 2 diving plays, one for Zuckerman, one for Morales. It keeps the runners put and retires Baker.
I don't know which one was better, too, Ben. Both baseballs that look destined to hit the grass, and just full extension, both by Morales and Zuckerman, to make some phenomenal defensive plays early on.
Well, that one would have been a bit more danger than the first one. The other one, with Zuckerman, would have fallen foul. That one would have loaded the bases with nobody out. Now there's 1 out, and the runners stay put at first and second for Garrett Wright. Swings through the first pitch for strike 1.
The best thing, too, after both Trevor Baumler tipping his cap to both of Zuckerman and Morales for those amazing plays.
All right, making the big move up this offseason from Bowling Green to Tennessee. And he gets started with a even 1-1 count with 2 on. Spectacular season up at Bowling Green this past year in the MAC. Team that had one of their better years in program history. Fastball, called strike from home plate umpire Merzel. That puts right down to the count 1-2. Still looking for his first home run of the summer. It's been part of, similar to Falmouth, kind of a three-man catcher's rotation for the Red Sox this year. Check swing, just got a piece of it. Stays alive with a 1-2. But he's not someone that can only play catcher. He's really versatile. Got the start last night against Brewster in right field. So someone who can, not only catch but play the outfield as well. Always a great asset to have. Baumler would love a double play ball here. 1-2 count. Delivery's grounded down the third baseline, up and out of play again. Another night, another really good attendance at Gov Fuller Field. Of course, Park of the Park's going to always be a fun event that might be that one game everybody circles at the beginning of the year. Hires the 1-2. Hit high down the right field line, but Ashton Wilson's got a beat on it, and he'll make the play coming up for out number 2. A couple of pops into shallow right. Will retire first 2 outs of the second inning. Runners at first and second still. Jack Bell come up to hit. How about this? We got ourselves, see it every once in a while here at the Cape, but a teammate matchup. Trevor Baumler, Jack Bell, TCU Horned Frogs. And a pretty big spot early in this ballgame. He ropes one into shallow right field. Wave arounds on for Briseño. It's past Wilson. Briseño will score. Red Sox have a 1-0 lead. A late stop sign for Carreras at third. Hard hit single and then a little help from Wilson at right field. And it's the Red Sox with the early advantage.
Jack Bell wasting no time against his teammate. Sees that changeup that has been working so well from Baumler and just rips that out to right field past the outstretched dive of Newstrom after a couple of nice defensive plays here in the first couple of innings. Don't know if Wilson has a chance of catching Briseño at home, even if he does relay it in.
Maybe Carreras getting the third would be the only negative part. First pitch, fastball high, but swung on and missed. Now you flip it to the top of the lineup in A.J. Nestler. That is the first earned run that Trevor Baumler has given up this year. Runner's going to take off for second. There was no one standing at second, and the throw is late to Lopez. They do keep Carreras at third base, but now Bell's up to second and 2 at scoring position as the Red Sox are trying to add on.
I'm very surprised there that Harrison let that go. I think you said it perfectly. Lopez wasn't even close to being there yet.
That's why I saw the throw way to the left and not really anywhere close to second base. That's their thought off the 0-2. Walked his first time up. That was a long at bat where he went down 3-0, and then Baumler fought back on the payoff pitch. Got away from him. That's RBI, just number 2 on the year for Jack Bell this season. Swing and a miss on the changeup to get Nestler down odd strikes. But the Red Sox put a couple on early and bring it in. Off the bat of Trevor Baumler's teammate, Jack Bell. It's 1-0 Red Sox, heading to the bottom of the second on Cape League TV.
You'll always be safe at home with the Diana Lucevero Group at Compass Real Estate.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
If you can dream it, If you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
Falmouth Commodores, Red Sox early in this game, 1-0. And Ryan Martin, the third member of our crew, has more on the All-Stars selected for Falmouth today.
Yeah, Ben, it's a special day for the Commodores, not just because it's a game day against the YD Red Sox. Today, 8 Commodores were named All-Stars for the 2025 season. 4 were starters. This is a special moment for the Commodores. Antonio Morales, Trevor Ballmer, Kent Schmidt, and Mike Canoe, your 4 All-Star starters for the Commodores. Guys, 4 starters and 8 overall All-Stars. That's the most in the Cape Cod Baseball League. It's a special season for the Commodores, and now being recognized where these guys will play a week from today at Red Wilson Field in YD. Ben?
In on that great graphic that just showed at the beginning of this bottom of the second inning, because so many players, like Ryan said. How about that? The most in the Cape Cod Baseball League with 8. Most starters and most players overall. And here is one of those starters that Ryan had a chance to sit down with before the game today, Kent Schmidt. Look at a first pitch strike. Schmidt is one of those guys that I think, some of the recency bias will help that All-Star selection. He's been great as of late after a really slow start. He's gotten the batting average all the way up to 265 on the year. An awkward swing and a miss. He's in an 0-2 hole.
I think the RBI numbers too have really showcased that as well. Where early in the season he was getting a lot of chances to drive in runs in that 4 and 5 spot in the order, and over the last week, half a month or so, really coming through.
Well, it's interesting, too, because he challenged himself at the beginning of the year. He had a lot of opportunities in the first week or so where, he had bases loaded, a couple guys in scoring position situations he didn't come up in, and he knew it. He challenged himself to be better in those situations, and he certainly has. Second on this team in RBIs. It was a 2-game stretch where he had bases loaded with 2 outs, went 0 for 3 in 3 of those opportunities. Is still an 0-2 count. 5-pitch at bat now. Schmidt's fouled a few off. He's got a couple of home runs to go along with it as well. And I was going to mention it earlier when Will Baker was at the plate in the top of the inning for the Red Sox. There are 3 guys in this game right now and in the lineups that can play first base at Georgia Tech next season. Change up upstairs for the first ball of the count. Of course, that spot, you'd assume, is Kent Schmidt's to lose. I mean, led the ACC in batting average this season to go at .397. And around the 1-2 right in the glove of Yomar Carreras. It's about as slow of a throw you can get from second to first base, but didn't need to put a lot on it. 4 up, 4 down early for Chris Downs.
Schmidt also tripped a little bit out of the box, so Carreras wasn't in that much of a rush to get it over.
It's a YD team that has shifted a lot early in this ball game. It helped them there and helped them in one of the groundouts in the first inning. Now Bear Harrison moved up to the 5 spot with the absence of Mike Canoe, starting behind the plate today. Change up in the left-handed batter's box for ball 1. The Texas A&M Aggie, rising junior from Danville, California. Big swing and a miss. He was out in front and leaving the count up at 1-1. Back half of the season for A&M this year. Had a 20-game on-base streak. He played some of his better baseball once SEC play got started. Finished the year with a .254 batting average. But the impressive number was the OPS. Of course, that's being used more as for a benchmark than batting average has been in the past. A .939 OPS this past year at A&M. 10 homers, 34 driven in. Swing and a miss on the 2-1. And leaving the count.
The 2 pitches he's gone to in this at-bat with the swing and the miss, both of the changeup for Downs.
It is a favorable matchup for Harrison with a lefty on righty fact. 2-2, just off the end of the bat. Harrison, a very defensive swing. It's been his first year at St. Mary's College, named to the all-freshman team of the West Coast Conference. A couple guys who knows what it's like to play baseball on the West Coast. 2-2 hit hard into left. Nestler going at it, a long run. He's diving and can't come up with it. Harrison around first, just now picked up in front of the wall. And a strut into second base for Bear Harrison, the first base runner of the day for Falmouth. An extra base hit for the Texas A&M catcher. 95 miles an hour off the bat.
He was prepared for that off speed on that one. Was not fooled after a couple of change-ups in the at-bat. Just sits back on it, ropes that out to left. Great effort, too, by Nestler.
Well, we talked about the first time, the last time these two teams played. Every time the Red Sox would put up a run or a few, Commodores would respond the next half inning. That's what they're trying to do here with a runner in scoring position and just one out. And the man has made a couple of really nice defensive plays today as Ryan Zuckerman gets started off with a 0-1 count. How's one back? Zuckerman, the transfer from Pitt to Georgia Tech, staying in the ACC. And it's interesting when you talk to him about it and hear him talk about it. He says pretty similar campuses as well. It's two schools that are right on the outskirts of downtown areas. They're really city campuses, both in Pittsburgh and in Atlanta. Now he punches one through the right field for a base hit. Wave around's on for Bear Harrison. A throw at the plate. It's a good one on the line, and they got him. No chance for Harrison, and a beautiful throw from right field for Dowd. And the Red Sox gone one down. Huge second out of the inning. And the transfer portal, Braden Dowd makes a nice play. Went down the third base line, too. Well played by right behind the plate.
And that throw is a little offline as well, up that third base line. And maybe if that's on target, Harrison can buy a little bit more time to try to dive out of that.
Salinas now the last opportunity in this inning after that. Runners eliminated. First pitch, strike to him. Just his fourth at-bat as a Falmouth Commodore. He went 1 for 3 in his first game. It's not his first game on the Cape, though. He's coming over from the Orleans Firebirds after a few games with them to start the year. Change up low into the dirt. Zuckerman taking off for second base. A throw down to second. Got him! Well, the Commodores make the last 2 outs of the inning on the base paths. A double and a single, but nothing to show for it in the bottom of the second. The Red Sox defense, a couple of good arms, gutted them down as we head to the third. It's 1-0 Sox on Cape League TV.
One source has it all. The pros' go-to rental choice for the newest and most reliable equipment for any job. One source that has a team you can rely on, the people and a name you trust, with the tools you need. One source with a location near you and wherever the work takes you. Milton Rents, the right equipment when and where you need it.
Hi, I'm Mike Newton from Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. I'd like to give a special shout out to my boy T.
This summer, kids ages 5 to 18 can sign up for the Falmouth Commodores Youth Development Clinics. Live a day in the life of a Commodore and train with top college players here at Gov Fuller Field. Register today on our website at capecodleague.com/Falmouth. That's CapeCodLeague.com/Falmouth. They could learn from some Commodores who've made some nice defensive plays in the first 2 innings of this game. Red Sox have as well, and that's why the Sox have a 1-0 lead as we head to the 3rd inning at Gov Fuller Field. Ben Heller alongside Andrew Delapiana. Third member of our crew is Ryan Martin on the sidelines today. And he talked about all the All-Stars this Commodore team's going to have. A couple of starters in the outfield with Mike Anu and Antonio Morales, and on top of that, Mike Anu named to the Home Run Derby as well. 2-3-4 to get us started in the 3rd, and ball hit in the deeper center by Chase Tarnas. But a nice play made and a couple of steps back in center field for Morales, who's making his first start in center field this season. 1 pitch, 1 out in the inning for Baumler, who is officially not the only player with qualified innings to give up an earned run this season. Actually, they did make that run unearned because the run got on by an error. So the official ruling right now is 2 1/3 with 0 earned runs. And the first pitch swinging is Dow. This one into shallow left. And no problem for Salinas. 2 pitches, 2 outs in the inning. There's nothing that gets your confidence up like a quick inning after giving up a run. Will Gasparino's grounded to 3rd at his only at-bat today. It's kind of that slow grounder that Zuckerman had to come up for. Way behind a fastball, swings through it. Down 0-1.
It's also too funny now that I think about it, Ben. Baumler's given up 3 runs this season, and of course none of those have been earned. How rare do you see that?
Not a ton of help from his defense. A defense that's been sound all year long, really, here in Falmouth. Slider runs outside to make it 1-1 here on Gasparino. Transfer now, the newest UCLA Bruin this upcoming season. Plays baseball in Los Angeles. Beautiful curveball. Drops in the zone to make it 1-2. Gasparino making that transfer after playing a couple seasons at Texas, but he's going back home. He's from Los Angeles, California. Got over 100 starts in his last 2 years with the Longhorns. And he deposits it into his new rival, Adrian Lopez's glove at shortstop. Heading to the bottom of the 3rd. Quick inning for Baumler, but it's still 1-0 Red Sox on Cape League TV.
Introducing Open Cape, the local nonprofit internet service provider in this region. Open Cape's fast and reliable network is 100% fiber optic, providing affordable internet connectivity. To learn more, visit opencape.org and always speak with a live Open Cape representative. Open Cape, providing choice and competition for your home or business and the official internet provider of your Falmouth Commodores.
We are Open Cape.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage of your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Hi, I'm Justin Osterhaus from Grand Rapids, Michigan, and I'd like to give a special shout out to my parents, my brother, Becky and JD Osterhaus, and Brady Osterhaus.
Here, bottom of the 3rd inning is we enter the 3rd inning, or 3rd opportunity for the Commodores to get some runs. Put a couple on in that 2nd inning, but nothing through. And of course, now it's the bottom of the 3rd. It's time for some Doors trivia. Here is tonight's question. While hosting the 2024 CCBL All-Star Game, one Commodore was the only West Division batter to have multiple hits. Was it Trent Carraway, Carson Bowen, Gavin Klein, or Jackson Willits? A lot of really good names on that list. Of course, your eyes dart to A and C and Galloway, Klein. And always in these questions, I feel like I want to go with the one you least expect. I'm going to go with B, Carson Bowen. That's my official answer.
I'm going to take D, Jackson Willits.
All right. Tristan Salinas was up the last time Commodores were at before Zuckerman got thrown out trying to take second base after a ball bounced to the dirt, but Garrett Wright was right on top of it and made the play. 0-1 count early for Salinas. Now he hits one high down the right field line and tailing foul. It'll end up foul just a bit early on that one, but he got all of it.
First time this season we've hit a ball gone towards the snack shack out and right.
Yeah, it does feel weird.
An area that is not targeted a whole lot.
And instead, it's allowed a long strike. Salinas is down to an 0-2 count. He went 1 for 3 in his first start with Falmouth. Sends one up the middle, through for a base hit. Second base hit in as many games in a Commodore uniform. And for the first time today, Falmouth will put the leadoff runner on base.
That's just a good piece of hitting with a pitch on the outer half of the zone. And poking out to where the shift is not, with Brashenio playing more towards the right side of second base. And then poking it out to that direction where nobody is.
Runner on first base, nobody gone. Commodores trying to just get the runner up. Ashton Wilson's hitting just 200 in his first 15 at-bats for the Commodores so far. That 20 at-bats, he's 4 for 20 so far. Takes the first pitch upstairs. 2 of the base hits, though, 2 of the biggest ones came last night. 2 for 4. 4 batted in.
And that home run was a no-doubter, too.
That was one of the ones. Everybody knew it off the bat. There was a game last night that felt similar to the Red Sox game, where Commodores just kept battling back no matter how many times they went down. They were down 4 and 3 at 2 separate points. Came back to tie it up. And eventually took the lead of the 7th.
That's where we've seen that this team at this best, though, when they are trailing in games and it gets to those later moments. I mean, they've hit 9 home runs when trailing in a game this season.
Second throw over to first before the second pitch here to Wilson. And yeah, it's weird. It feels like whoever's winning the Commodores games so far this year at the end of the 6th inning hasn't really been a good indicator of who's going to win the game.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been some games blown by the bullpen late in the last third, and definitely some comeback wins. That's why they got themselves above 500 already. 11 and 10 with 1 tie as well. Called strike at the knees to make it an even 1-1 count. Wilson hit just about 220 at Florida this past season down in Gainesville. Somebody who, is used to having that lower batting average, higher power though. Definitely more of a power hitter. Jumps at 2-1. Downs does have the ability to go deep in games for YD. Look at last season at Cal Poly. Some of his longer appearances, he went 6 a couple of times on the throw over to first. And those actually came in really big moments. Look at his 2 longest appearances on the year. They were 6 1/3 innings both times. And there were his most recent 2 appearances of the year, once in the Big West Conference Tournament and once in the Regional against Utah Valley. That one hit hard over the head of the shortstop, Brashenio, into shallow left. And it'll get Salinas up to second. And Ashton Wilson's got his 5th base hit of the summer. And Commodore's in business with 2 on and nobody out.
Finally feels like it breaks that streak after a couple of miscues on the base pass for the Commodores to get those base hits and start plugging them along together now.
Well, so if you look at the last 4 spots and the last 4 results in the at-bats for the Commodores, they have gone double, single, single, single. The last 2 outs in that inning were made on the base paths.
But it went 1, 2, 3 in that last inning.
We've seen a couple that a couple times. It happened last Sunday against Chatham, where they actually made all 3 outs on the base paths. Newstrom takes strike 1.
Now that's hard to do.
Extremely. I think I'm going to pull it up. We have that in the scorebook just last time. Yeah, I have single, air, single, and just the 3 batters at a 1-2-3 inning for the Commodores against Chatham. That one just a bit inside to even the 1-1 count to Newstrom. Big opportunity for some ribbies. He's got 3 of them this year. And just the 1 home run. Came on the road about a week ago. It's this YD team. Slow grounder, fouled on the third baseline.
Fans in the center field, please be aware of baseball entering into play. Thank you.
Talked about YD and not a lineup that you're going to see a ton of SEC, ACC guys top to bottom. This is a Falmouth team that's starting to get filled with some SEC. Now that Ashton Wilson's coming down, you get Florida, Tennessee, and 8-9 in the lineup. Obviously, Bear Harrison hits 5th from Texas A&M. Change up, hit into shallow right. It'll get through for a base hit and a stop sign at third base for Salinas. A quick throw in from Dowd. Jack O'Reilly maybe thinking about last time he made a send. And instead, that'll load the bases for the top of the lineup with nobody out at a 1-run deficit for the Doors.
That's just a coach that learned his lesson from the last time. He said, all right, I'm not going through that again. And how about the back of the lineup, Ben? Really getting things done for the top.
They have. It was the top of the lineup that went down 1-2-3 at the top of the first inning. It started with the man at the plate right now. Carl Schmidt grounded out to third his first time up. Now he's got some RBI opportunities. He's got 8 on the year. First pitch hit into right. Long run going over for Dowd. It'll make the play, and they will send Salinas to the plate, and he will score. Commodores tie it up on the sac fly from Carl Schmidt. RBI 9 on the season. Brand new ball game as Wilson moves up to third as well, and they're on the corners with 1 out.
And just some good situational hitting by Carl Schmidt, who, just like that first at bat, goes after that first pitch and knows where he has to put it in the outfield to give his guy Salinas a chance of scoring. That's what the Commodores feel like after that first couple of games of the season, Ben, have really done a better job of, is when they get those runners in scoring position, finally cashing in on those chances.
And they've done it with different ways. RBI base hits and some small ball as well. A sacrifice there. Another sacrifice situation with them on the corners. And just 1 out. And Antonio Morales, one of your best contact guys, a back pick at third base, and they got him. Wow, another mistake on the base paths for the Commodores. Ashton Wilson is thrown out at third base, and instead of runners on the corners with 1 out, it's a runner on first with 2 outs. That eliminates the sacrifice situation. The 3rd out already, and we're just in the 3rd inning that's been made on the base paths.
How about that pop time, too, by Garrett Wright? He was up in the blink of an eye. Didn't even give Wilson a chance to even look down his direction.
Slider called strike on the outer part of the plate now to Morales. It's now the last 4 outs of this game, 4 downs. 3 of them on the base paths, 1 of them a sac fly. One way outside and in the right-handed batter's box. Morales grounded out to short his first time up. This is a way different situation, too. You'd love that sacrifice situation, obviously, in general, but also Morales, one of your best contact guys in the lineup, doesn't have an opportunity for it now. Take the 2-1, get the 3-1 hitters count now. He was 0 for 4 yesterday with a strikeout. If Morales hasn't had a ton of cold streaks on the year, this might be one of his most cold streaks, though, the last couple of games. Slow grounder back up the middle. They had him shaded. Briseño from short on the right side of the second base bag. They'll throw him out for out number 3. Another mistake on the base paths for the Commodores, but they get one across, so the sac fly from Carl Schmidt. 1-1 tie. So we are 3rd of the way through from Gov Fuller Field on Cape League TV.
At Cape Cod Healthcare, we're committed to excellence and compassion in everything we do, like helping people maintain their active lifestyles. Our innovative orthopedic program combines advanced techniques and leading-edge technology with highly specialized teams, including our nationally recognized Center of Excellence for Joint Replacement. Our focus is getting you back to doing the things you love, in the place you love.
The Center of Excellence and the quality of care that we can deliver makes all the difference to the patients. They understand that they can get the best care right here on Cape Cod.
You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a halo puck. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it. Players can use it with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on it.
Here in the top of the fourth inning, brand new ball game. It's 1-1 with Trevor Baumler still on the mound for Commodores. It's a special event here at Gov Fuller Field. It's Bark of the Park. Ryan Martin, the third member of our crew, has got a special guest.
Yeah, Ben, we're having a wolf of a good time and one of the best days on the Commodores' home schedule. It's Bark in the Park night here at Gov Fuller Field. Take a look over my shoulder where you see all the dogs that are here. I had a second to take with Jeanette Williams of Safe With Us Animal Rescue and John Kilduff of the Black Dog Falmouth, the main store. Guys, they love the partnerships here. There's actually 5 dogs up for adoption here today. And guess what? One dog was already adopted with the players that were here and the families that were in attendance. Guys, a great night and awesome to see so many dogs around the park.
That's a great story, Ryan. No matter what happens in the ball game, we know we have a winner today.
I want to adopt one.
We're gonna have to make a quick exit after this game.
There's plenty of room in our house. Come on.
I do not know if the best life a dog can have is back in our intern
That's
house.
true.
First pitch comes a bit inside. Trevor Baumler out for his fourth inning of work, and he'll face 5, 6, 7 with Armando Brasheño, the shortstop for YD, who's 0 for 1, but did reach on an error back in the second inning. Error got the inning started. Now change a bit above the plate. Started off 2-0. They'll go Brasheño, Carreras, and Baker. Commodores got the first 3 on at the bottom of the third inning. Only were able to get 1 across. This ball called strike on the outer part of the plate. Righty on righty matchup. Brasheño in his first start for the Red Sox. One hit hard, fouled on the third base line. A couple of those, one for Commodores, one for Red Sox, just a bit early on. That'll head towards that open left field line, grassy area where there's a lot of people sitting. You see the grassy areas are usually very well attended, but especially today compared to the bleachers with all the dogs too. They got a phone count that is run full as Baumler offers 1 high.
Even down the first base side as well, Ben. Plenty of people on that bleachers that used to be football field out used to be.
Despite the run that Baumler's given up, he's only thrown 40 pitches in his first 3+ innings now. This one off the end of the bat into shallow right, coming up to make the play. Wilson, he got it! The third diving play in 4 innings for the Commodores, and Antonio Morales says, hey, I did that too a couple innings ago. I mean, this is ridiculous defense for the Commodores today. Wilson making up for that mistake of the base pass the last half inning.
I think we got to put a poll on our Twitter at Falmouth Commodores about what was the best catch so far through these 4 innings, because I really cannot decide.
Well, I was just about to ask you, Andrew. You got a favorite of the first 3 so far?
Maybe Zuckerman, just because it caught me by surprise so much back in that first inning, and it was a bunt that had no right of being caught. I mean, Zuckerman is all dirted up. He had some grass stains on his knees before even that first at bat.
Well, baseball giveth, baseball taketh away. After reaching the first time on an error for Brasheño, has what was destined to be a base hit taken away. Now Yomar Carreras had a straight single back in the second inning and put runners on first and second before the Red Sox eventually scored 1 on an RBI from Jack Bell. He's got an 0-2 count and he stays alive, fouling it off. Got some Rutgers Scarlet Knights on both sides. Lineup card today. Carreras heading into his sophomore season there. Salinas in left field for the Commodores will spend his first season there after a couple of schools to start his college career. Change up off the end of the bat, this time shallow left. Now Salinas coming up, diving to make the play. He did it! I don't know what's going on. Boy, this is going to be a very expensive laundry bill for the Commodores today. That's 4 diving plays, 4 diving catches, and the first 4 innings of this ball game. All 3 outfielders have made one. Zuckerman's made one at third base. Andrew, the color commentator, you want to go make one?
Am I next in the order? Do I have to go out and do that too? That's unbelievable. It's not even like they're trying to dive either. These are actually spectacular diving grabs.
I mean, this is a terrific display of defense for the Commodores. And the first pitch comes right down the middle and out of the 7-hitter, Will Baker. And it's so funny, too, because the big story we've been talking about is how Baumler, all his runs are unearned this year. So not going to get some help from his defense. And I said baseball giveth, baseball taketh away. Maybe that works for Baumler, too, getting a lot of help from his defense here today.
Also caught the reaction of Red Sox manager Scott Pickler there, too. He's just shaking his head saying, what else can my guys do? That should be a single every single time.
There's 3 base hits probably taken away. Now the other, swing and a miss on a pitch low, would have just been a foul ball on the bunt that Zuckerman had to dive out and play. But that is the difference between, 2 base hits that the Red Sox have today and 5, which would tie the Commodores. Commodores have made the 1 error, 1-1 score in the top of the 4th. And now an even 2-2 count for the lefty Baker.
You go back to the big thing Jared Saltamaki said before the season for the Commodores, that defense and pitching was going to win them a lot of games this season. It's been the offense that has done the heavy lifting, but it's been the back end that's done its job today.
2-2 pitch, hit hard. Salinas initially went up. This time an easier play as he'll take a couple of steps back. Well, Superman made its premiere just on Thursday, and I think the Falmouth Commodores would be like Superman. 5 diving catches and the first 4 innings of this ball game. We head to the bottom of the 4th, and a 1-1 tie on Cape League TV.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
Introducing Open Cape, the local nonprofit internet service provider in this region. Open Cape's fast and reliable network is 100% fiber optic, providing affordable internet connectivity. To learn more, visit opencape.org and always speak with a live Open Cape representative. Open Cape, providing choice and competition for your home or business, and the official internet provider of your Falmouth Commodores.
We are Open Cape.
I'm Trevor Baumler, right-handed pitcher from TCU, and you're watching Commodores baseball on Cape League TV.
The YD Red Sox will make a move to the bullpen today. Tyler Pitzer's the new pitcher on the mound for the Red Sox. We'll get you the trivia answer for today, which of course was when Commodores hosted the 2024 Cape League All-Star Game, who was the one West Division batter to have multiple hits. And that was Trent Carraway, number A. Sometimes the most obvious answer is the answer, named Carraway. We were both wrong.
I don't think I've gotten a single one of these right.
Good thing we're not really
ridiculous.
Good thing we're not.
We're not
really
on Jeopardy. Yeah. Well, they don't even do multiple choice.
No. Pitzer's making his 5th appearance, all in relief so far, an ERA below 1. Total of 12 innings, so he's got decent length in his appearances. 16 strikeouts to just 5 walks. He's making an SEC to SEC transfer move from South Carolina to Mississippi State. But first, he'll face 3, 4, 5 in the Falmouth Commodore lineup. And a 1-1 tie at Gov Fuller Field. This season series has belonged to the Red Sox this year. They were the record of 1-0-1. Commodores still looking for their first win against YD on the season. Of course, you play everybody in the opposite division 4 times a year, so a return trip to YD after the All-Star break for the Commodores. First pitch, strike 1 to Adrian Lopez. Pitzer does have 2 decisions, though. He's 2-0 After 0, it was 4 appearances being starts. That length helps. Pez fouls one back. You can tell this is a game YD's really going for. One of their best relief pitchers out of the bullpen, maybe their best bullpen pitcher. 19 appearances in his sophomore season for South Carolina. 32 strikeouts in just 28 1/3 innings pitched. And although a lot of those appearances were in relief, again at 4 decisions, he was 4-0. Lopez down the first base line. It's fair, and it gets in an awkward position. Lopez makes a hard turnaround first, but stops as it's picked up and right by Dowd. Back-to-back innings with a leadoff base hit for the Commodores. Lopez on for the first time today.
And the Commodores aren't doing anything too special on offense to get these base hits. It's really just putting the ball where the defense isn't. That's a really tough play for Baker to make.
Boy, that ball had awkward spin on it, too. A big reason Lopez is standing at first base. Even that batting average in a pretty good spot, hitting .283 coming into today. Schmidt just .263 as he'll step up to the plate. He grounded out to second. Back in the second. Fastball way high and outside for ball 1. Schmidt's numbers get significantly better with runners on base, especially runners in scoring position on this season. And finally get the favorable matchup facing a righty now. It's the first righty Falmouth sees today. Change up low here to Schmidt. Make it a 2-0 count. Runner's going to take off for second. The pitch was low. Throw to second. Got him. Jared Saltalamacchia immediately bolts out of the dugout to have a word with third base umpire Joe LaBella. You do not see Saltalamacchia come out of the dugout much. But he is really not happy with this call. LaBella's going to make the jog on over. But as it stands, it would be the 4th out of the base paths today for the Commodores. In just 4 innings.
And he does not come out really at all, like you said. And it really has to be something that he doesn't feel is, I don't even want to say remotely close, but close enough to give his guys a chance. He just asked for a simple explanation, nothing too bad out of him.
Well, this is back to the old school MLB where, I mean, you can't really do much about it once you argue with an umpire. I mean, there's no review.
Yeah.
There's not much you could say to really change a mind. But
And he's mentioned, too, being a catcher as well, as he knows how to build that repertoire with umpires where you don't want to get on their bad side. You want to be their friend back there.
3-0 changeup right down the middle of the zone, and with the runner not being at second base, allows the Red Sox to shift how they want. They have shifted a lot today. You can see the shortstop, Briseño, standing right behind the second base bag. The Sox defense. Hitters 3-1 count for Schmidt. He ropes one into shallow right. That'll drop in for another base hit. Stroll into first base, and Andrew, the Commodores have a total of 7 base hits in the last 9 at-bats, but a total of 5 outs in those at-bats.
That's the frustrating thing, too, is you're getting runners on, but recording 4 of your outs so far out of the 10 that have been in this ball game. It's very unlike this ball club, who's been very good stealing bases and doesn't get caught a whole lot as well.
2 runners trying to steal second base were caught. One on a back pick to third base as Harrison lifts one into left. Thought he got a piece of it, but Nestler going to come up, just missed it, and Nestler settles under it for the second out. 2 of them trying to steal second, one on a back pick to third, and then one thrown out at home plate. That was Spare Harrison trying to score on a single from Ryan Zuckerman, who comes to the plate now with 2 gone and a runner on first. The Commodores have been really successful stealing bases this year. It feels like every team has, except for what we talked about in the pregame show, the Red Sox. They've struggled on the paths this year.
Yeah, 13 caught stealing. They're only successful about 70% of the time. That's both second lowest in the league entering tonight.
Zuckerman went after the first pitch and is down 0-1. And a 1-1 tie with a runner on first. 2 out. Now he grounds one right into the shift once again. Picked up at short by Rasheno, and he flips on to second for the force out. Fielder's choice to end it. Again, the Commodores have a couple of singles to start the inning, but a mistake on the base paths. Can't get anything across. Heading to the fifth, still a 1-1 tie at Gov Fuller Field between the Commodores and Red Sox.
You'll always be safe at home with the Diana Lucevero Group at Compass Real Estate.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
On behalf of the Cape Cod Baseball League, we would like to thank the following league partners for their continued support: Cape Space, Cape Cod 5, Cisco Brewers, Cape Cod Healthcare, Hampton Inn, Franklin Sports, Highline Cruises, Jersey Mike's, and of course, thank you to Major League Baseball for over 50 years of support.
Hi, I'm Jackson Minesco from Motion City, New Jersey, and I want to give a quick shout out to my mom.
First home game for the Commodores since this awesome event that happened this past Thursday on the league-wide off day. Meet the coaches. Andrew, you know you were at the event and had a lot of, I think, a pretty good attendance too.
Yes,
you saw
it was.
some dance moves from Homer. You guys got some pretty good interviews. A great event for the community to meet Jared Saltalamacchia.
Got some great insight from him as well about his time here and his move over from Bourne after 3 seasons there, also making that jump from high school ball, currently in Florida as he coaches a team down there and is jumping out to Falmouth for year number 1. Todd Carroll, though, not in attendance. Neither were you, though. Where were you guys? Missing out on a fun event.
First pitch from Baumler is fouled back into the net for strike 1. Bottom of the lineup, Garrett Wright, Jack Bell, A.J. Nestler to start things off in the top of the 5th inning. Wright 0 for 1 with the fly out to Wright his first time up. 0-1 pitch, now hits one to the left. Salinas got a beat on it, looks up and makes a couple steps back to make the play. 2 pitches, first out. Baumler enters the game for his 5th inning of work. There have not been a lot of pitchers, starting pitchers, not only for the Commodores but for the league, that have gone more than 4 innings in a start. But that's what happens when you only throw 50 pitches in the first 4 innings.
And you also help with a lot of defensive plays as well that have been only 1-2 pitch at bats. It's been quick work.
1 gone, no one on now for the 9-hitter Jack Bell. Pitch bit off the plate. He's got the 1 RBI for the Red Sox today, an RBI single against his TCU teammate. Talked about that being a big storyline the first time he was up. It's 1-0 count now. Make it 1-1. Went golfing for it. It feels like every time we do get that teammate matchup from school, it feels like the offense always wins. I don't know what
I was
it is
about to
it.
ask you the same question of who gets the advantage in that. Because there's no secrets. You know what their stuff, you know what they're throwing, you know what their swing pattern is and what they like to go after and what they struggle with.
1-1 pitch fouled off. I think it might help the offense a little more to have a scouting report on a pitcher. Know what he throws, know the tendencies.
Just seeing them so many times in practice.
Yeah. But Baumler knows what Bell wants to go after and all that good stuff. He's got a 1-2 count. Change up, cut on and missed, and this time it's Baumler with the advantage. So 1 RBI single and 1 strikeout. Then the Horned Frogs square to match up. 2 out early, the 8-9 hitters in the lineup. That's strikeout number 3 of the game for Baumler. Talk about the efficiency, 56 pitches and 4 2/3 at this point. How about the strike efficiency, 41 strikes and 56 pitches?
He's not someone that throws a whole lot of balls. He's a very much pitch to contact kind of pitcher, and we've seen it perfectly displayed with the defensive showcase that's been on.
3rd time to the lineup now for Baumler as A.J. Nestler fouls one off. A strikeout and a walk in his first 2 pitches. Still hasn't put one in play. And a righty up and throwing for the Commodores down the first base bullpen.
That's
Looks like it's Matt Saucer.
Yeah, it's Saucer. He's not really warming up, so just getting the medicine ball out. Couple of weighted balls.
A lot of movement on the curveball, but it ends up a bit below the knees for ball 1 now to Nestle. Pit Panther. That one back up the middle, line through, and for a base hit. 2 quick outs, but Nestor gets the best of Baumler. Not sure what the connection there is on a TCU matchup, but maybe a Jamie Dixon connection with TCU and Pitt.
That was a pull.
Is that a bit of a stretch?
Yeah, that's a little bit of a pull, yeah.
I don't know. We've talked about this is just the way the broadcasters' minds work. We've talked enough about college football, maybe some college basketball talk on this broadcast.
That's fine with me.
2 hitters, Jace Tardish. Change up, cold strike at the knees. I know both of us go to quote-unquote basketball schools that maybe haven't had much success since we've been there.
They used to, not so much anymore.
Runner takes off for second base with a changeup, hit hard down the left field line. Going back is Salinas. He's looking up at it. If it's fair, it's gone. It hits the pole. I believe it, yeah. A late call from home plate umpire Jeff Merzel. And Jace Tarnish goes deep for his first home run of the summer, and he gives the Red Sox the lead back 3-1. First home run and his first 2 RBIs on the season. So Baumler had a couple of quick outs to start it off, and those are the first 2 earned runs that Baumler's given up on the summer. It is a smaller foul poles down the right field and third.
That's the first time we've seen anybody hit one of those. You have to be very accurate.
Now this one's hit hard past the diving glove. Newstrom adds second and into right. So back-to-back base hits. Home run sandwiched in between a couple of singles. This one from Braden Dowd. And a runner on first again with 2 outs for the Red Sox. And it's the pitching coach, Todd Carroll, who's going to come out and have a word with Baumler. Message, I'm sure, being, just one pitch can get you out of this.
Still, too, the struggles with 2 outs of just getting that final third out happened last night to Katuitt, where 1 run came across for the Kettleers, then eventually 3 behind after with 2 outs, and then the 2-run home run by Tarnish. But he was just 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning. I feel like we've seen that a whole lot this summer, Ben.
Yeah, saw it a couple times from the last appearance for the Commodores and Matt Dallas after he was deactivated today from the active roster for the Doors. Todd Carroll heads back to the Falmouth dugout.
Now, the big thing now is just don't let this snowball. It's already 2 runs allowed on 2 outs. Just got to take care of the batter and get out of here.
Now Gasparino's got a chance with the runner on first. Takes the first pitch inside corner, called strike. 0 for 2 today with a ground out and a line out to short. It was one of the easiest plays the Commodores have had to make today defensively. Lopez didn't have to move his feet. Runner takes off for second, swung through. The throw down is a good one, but not in time. Shrug from Saltalamacchio. I don't think loved the call after Commodore got thrown out. But another one in scoring position for the Red Sox now with a 2-run lead, but an 0-2 count here for the big righty Gasparino. Baumler just needs 1 pitch to get out of it. Fires home the 0-2. Grounded right to where the runner was. Diving play by Lopez. Picks it up. There will be no throw. Actually, it'll come home. Runner took off for home. And they got him. Man, another out of the base paths this time for the Red Sox. I think he thought the ball got through. But Braden Dowd is cut down at home plate from Adrian Lopez to try to take 2 bags when the ball did not leave the infield. But it's Jace Tarnish, the story of this top of the 5th inning. 2-run shot off the left field pole. to give the Red Sox the lead back. It's 3-1 halfway through on Cape League TV. Andrew Del Piano's got you on the other end.
There's a 0 chance that you'll want to miss our 0% for 72 months offer. For a limited time, CAD is offering 0% on the purchase of many new small excavators. That's 0% for better performance, 0% for next generation features.
Great machine. It's quite impressive.
0% for work tools too, but there's a 0% chance this offer will last. So contact Milton Cat before there's 0 time left.
David McCann from Fairfield, Connecticut. I'd like to give a special shout out to my parents.
Already over the halfway point of the Cape Cod Baseball League season, but you can still enjoy all the action by downloading the Cape League TV app on your mobile device and favorite TV streaming platform. You can now watch Doors on your Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, and Android TV. Cape League TV provides live and on-demand coverage of all games and feature content from the nation's best summer collegiate baseball league. Get in the game with Cape League TV. Begin the bottom of the 5th back here at Gulf Fuller Field with the Red Sox in front 3-1. And in large part to a 2-run home run last inning by Chase Harness for his first 2 RBIs here on Cape Cod. Tristan Salinas to get things started. Called strike. As the righty Tyler Pitzer back out there for another inning on the work. Rising junior from Mississippi State after 2 seasons at South Carolina. Salinas jolts one into right center field, a long run from down. He's going to look up, and it's over his head, and one hops the wall. He's going to relay the throw in, but Salinas has a leadoff double for the Commodores. He's now 2 for 2.
That's 3 straight innings for the Doors now, too, with a leadoff base hit. Adrian Lopez with a single to lead off last inning, and then a single from this man at second base now, Salinas. He is a change of scenery a lot of times can do a lot of good, and hopefully that's happening with Salinas now. He was 1 for 3 coming into today, so now he's a total of 3 for 5 in his first 5 at-bats with the Doors.
Those numbers were not great at Orleans, only just in 8 games played with that 133 average. Here's another guy trying to make that large jump in Ashton Wilson. Already has a single earlier in the ballgame. He squares the bunt, cannot get it down. Talked about that 4 RBI effort last night with a home run in that 7-6 victory over Katuitt. Hopefully that being the game that kind of turns things around for him after pretty much a rocky start in the first 4 games. He squares to bunt once more. Josh Trickle's fouled on the third base line.
Yeah, it's been somewhat streaky. He's got a couple of games now that are multi-hit games, but he doesn't have a game where he has only got 1 base hit. That's the funny thing for Wilson so far, obviously besides this one. Just trying to make that his 3rd multi-hit game of the year.
Yeah, those first 4, he started 2 for 16. Even in that Sunday loss against Chatham, he left 4 runners in scoring position as well with 2 outs.
A couple of big strikeouts in those situations too.
He's already up to 10 this summer through 5 games. They get picked off on third base the last time around on the base paths. Here's the 0-2. We'll look at the slider tailing away for ball 1. Wilson, a player that started his collegiate career at Charleston Southern before making that big jump up to the SEC at Florida, where he was the regional MVP of Stillwater last spring. Another good take, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And again, we talk about the kind of streakiness for him in just multi-hit games. I think that's kind of how his career has gone in college so far. He's had some unreal stretches where it looks like this guy is one of the best players in the country. He's had some cold stretches too, though.
Check swing and a ball in the dirt. Did he go around? No. Says first base umpire Jeffrey Kinney, who's in a little bit of a tougher spot just in front of second base.
I mean, it's so tough for a second base umpire to see that. It's rarely ever will they say that he went around.
Salinas a short lead off of second. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Still nobody gone in the bottom of the 5th. And a called strike 3 against Wilson. Those 3 balls he took was a good sequence of discipline, but caught looking on that one for out number 1.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Just a really good pitch on the payoff from Pitzer. Not much you can do about that. Talk about Baumler being really strike efficient. Pitzer's got 11 strikes thrown at 14 pitches now.
Another guy trying to break out of a slump, Chris Newstrom. Single back in the 3rd inning, his first since Sunday. Was 0 for 9 his previous 2 games. Pickoff move to second, gets away from Carreras. Salinas going to take a free 90 feet on the miscue defensively by YD.
And that's a big one, too. Getting a runner at a third of less than 2 out, sacrifice situations to see if Newstrom can do it.
And that is going to go as an E1 against the pitcher Pitzer. So infield going to creep in for the Red Sox with a 2-run lead. Just 1 gone in the bottom of the 5th. Was time called before the pitch, or was there a pitch clock violation?
Well, the pitch was slow, and I think they got him at a 1-0 count right now.
Not sure where that time came from. One ball, 1 strike to Chris Newstrom. There's 3 RBIs on this summer. Batting just a hair over 140.
It does feel like for Newstrom, though, obviously the hits have come at a premium, more than he would like, but they've come in big times, big opportunities.
A high chopper to the shortstop, and the easy play over to first. There's 2 gone. Newstrom can't get it done.
So times field playing in does a really good job. Rashenio, too, has got one of the best arms at shortstop. Feels like he's really had his work cut out for him and his first start for YD this year.
He has been busy over there at shortstop. Can Carl Schmidt pick up the back half of the lineup after the leadoff double by Salinas? And on this at-bat, he takes a first pitch strike after going after the first pitch on his previous at-bats. Off the end of the bat, and foul. He's 0 for 1 with that RBI on the sac fly.
There's so many guys that have just done a really nice job in the last half of the season for the Commodores. Carl Schmidt's one of them. Where I think it almost goes unnoticed because of how consistent he's been from the beginning to the back half of the year. Maybe more surprised that he wasn't named an all-star starter.
Yeah.
Was named an all-star reserve in that utility position, though.
Definitely one of those sneakier guys that, as the season has gone along, has got on more people's radars. It was kind of hanging around that 6th, 7th spot in the order in the first couple of games. Then you start to see what he's doing more offensively, and you had to put him up to that leadoff spot. Swing and a miss, though, here as the Doors lead the runner stranded at third. So the leadoff double, no dividends for Tristan Salinas, as we are through 5 here from Gov Fuller Field, with the Red Sox still in front 3-1 right here on Cape League TV.
Hi, I'm Jim Murray, owner of Falmouth's historic Clam Shack, now Jim's Clam Shack. Located on scenic Falmouth Harbor, Jim's Clam Shack is a destination for the best seafood and sunsets on the Cape. We're open 7 days a week, so stop by for lunch or join us for dinner on the rooftop deck. Bring the entire family to try our wide selection of seafood and kid-friendly options. We deliver the freshest products to your plates daily. Jim's Clam Shack, proud supporter of the Falmouth Commodores.
Hi, I'm Michael Kasparian, President of the Falmouth Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber is here for the benefit of the whole community. Whether you're a local business or a visitor, Falmouth has endless offerings, from its beautiful beaches and historical sites to its local shopping and eateries. The Chamber bridges the 8 villages, providing visitors with all the tools to make their trip one to remember. Our visitor center is located in downtown Falmouth, just off of Main Street. Come by and meet our team, the Falmouth Chamber of Commerce.
Leading the league with most starters of any CCBL team, your all-star starter,
It has been a defensive showcase out on the diamond tonight for the Falmouth Commodores, who still trail the YD Red Sox 3-1 in meeting number 3 of the season between these two teams. Back alongside Ben Haller, I'm Andrew Della Piana. Those defensive plays have kept this a lot closer game than it might have been, with how many base hits the Red Sox have had in this one with 5, but they have taken a lot away in this one.
Yeah, they have, and I think it's too. The Commodores' defense has been so solid throughout the season, but it hasn't really been making any spectacular plays. It's just been a lot of consistency.
New pitcher out there for the Commodores. It's the rising junior from the University of Central Florida, Matt Saucer, who gets the baseball for Trevor Baumler. 5-6-7 due up. First pitch swinging on a one-hop controlled by Newstrom. Up and over. 1 up, 1 down for the Red Sox in the top of the 6th.
Yeah, and the Saucer's another guy that he kind of feels flipped. The Baumler started the year as part of that 4-man rotation. The first couple of games was him, Ashman, Grayson Sagne, T.J. Coates, but now moved into more of a reliever role.
And this is just his second appearance out of the bullpen. Interested to see how that rotation kind of shifts around for the upcoming days as well, with him coming out of the pen. Here's Yomar Carreras, 1 for 2. Blew out to Salinas last time in the 4th. One of those spectacular grabs out in the outfield. A high chopper fouled on the third base side.
I'll take your pick. Almost half of this YD lineup has been a victim of a diving play.
Quickly down 0-2 with 1 gone in the top of the 6th. Saucer, a good spot, doesn't get the call from home plate umpire Jeff Mertzel.
Glad to see Mertzel's doing okay. I feel like it's been a while since we've seen him after he felt like called 18 straight of Falmouth's games.
Doesn't have to make the call here. A high chopper up the middle. Lopez a dart, and he can't make it in time. Carreras beat it out with the infield single.
That's what speed does. This is a YD team that's got a lot of speed, despite the story being their mistakes getting thrown out trying to steal bases. But you look at the middle of the lineup, you go Briseño, Carreras, Will Baker as a first baseman is one of the quicker first basemen you're going to see who's at the plate now. It's about as close as it gets at first base, though.
Now the infield looking at turn 2. Baker puts this one in the air towards center field. Morales on the move, and a running effort to make the grab for out number 2.
Talk about speed. Morales got a ton of it. That's why I'm happy to see him play center field today in the absence of New. He's got most of his starts in right field, kind of the do-it-all utility guy, plays the infield as well. But he can cover a lot of ground in center.
A spot that belonged to Micah New for a majority of this season. After New was a shortstop for most of his time in Marshall, he really never played the outfield before this year. And when we spoke with Jack O'Reilly on Meet the Coaches just a couple of days ago, he said the athleticism was what really stood out about New. He's played a lot more freely, and hopefully that leads him to a high mark in this year's MLB draft, which starts tomorrow.
I think it's one of the biggest things that MLB teams wanted to see, too. Just his ability to play different spots.
And we'll hear a little bit more about the MLB draft next half inning with the third member of our crew, Ryan Martin. Here's Garrett Wright. Jolts it into left center field. Morales on the move. Easier play this time around for out number 3. So the one-out single from Carreras, the infield single, doesn't pay any dividends as we continue to roll on into the bottom of the 6th. Red Sox in front, 3-1 over the Commodores here from Go Fuller Field.
Are you looking for that perfect pregame meal? Supreme Pizza has you covered. Its extensive menu has everything from pies and calzones to salads and subs. And with its online ordering system, delicious food is just one click away.
It's an honor to support the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Supreme Pizza is open every day of the week. Order online or stop by their store, located at 147 T-Ticket Highway, and try a slice today.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
On behalf of the Cape Cod Baseball League, we would like to thank the following league partners for their continued support: 99 Restaurants, Badger Sports, the Baldwin Group, Bluebird Dennisport, Bridgewater State University, Cape Destinations.
A big week for Major League Baseball coming up, and for more on that MLB draft, we send things down to the third member of our crew. Ryan Martin has more. Ryan?
To learn more,
yeah, Andrew, you're exactly right. Less than 24 hours from now, it's a big day. It's the Major League Baseball draft for the year of 2025. It's going to be an exciting time for current Commodores and past Commodores. You look at this list right here, a dozen active Commodores are draft eligible. You see Adrian Lopez at shortstop. He's one of a dozen. But then the top, there's so many good names of past Commodores you could see. You think Jace Laviolette's going to be a top pick. So is Gavin Keelan. How about 2024 Commodore Gage Wood, who just recently threw a no-hitter in the College World Series? It's so important that Commodores fans know these names today before the world knows them tomorrow. Andrew?
A lot of names, Ryan, that are draft eligible. I think of a guy like Gavin Turley, too, who could also go in the earlier rounds. See, Gage Wood is projected to be a first-round guy. You throw a no-hitter in the College World Series, I think you're expected to go pretty high.
You get some eyes, for sure.
Bottom 6 here from the Gov, and Tony Morales tries to square one down. Can't do so. Third inning out there for Red Sox reliever Tyler Pitzer, who has allowed 3 hits, no runs, 2 strikeouts. Morales 0 for 2 in this ball game with a pair of groundouts to the shortstop Briceño. Good looking breaking ball there from Pitzer, can't find the zone.
And it's the shift that's really gotten Morales today. You see Briceño's just barely to the left of the second base bag, and he's going to move almost squarely behind it. Both of the groundouts to short actually brought Briceño to the right side of the second base bag.
1-1 breaks in for a called strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Morales, who continues to be that consistent on-base presence for this team. Top 10 in walks and on-base percentage entering today. Tough take there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now left side of the infield wide open for Morales. Breaking ball, a high chopper to the right side. Carreras on a couple hops, flips it over, and the leadoff man is retired.
The shortstop from USC, number 18, Adrian Lopez.
So despite the 8 hits so far on the offensive end for Falmouth, Ben, again, it's been the miscues on the base pass that have really kind of dictated this game.
Well, Falmouth hasn't been able to do much against Pitzer either. Obviously, the base paths really hurts them, but we've got in these later innings, hits have become a little less common. Still out hitting YD 8-6 today.
Did have that leadoff double in the 5th with Salinas, but was left stranded at third base last inning. Here's Adrian Lopez, one of those guys that got caught stealing in the 4th. He's 1 for 2 tonight. Hard cut and a miss. Fastball by Pitzer. With that single a little bit earlier, Lopez now a 6-game hit streak. Good spot on the fastball once more from Pitzer. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
It's a pretty big zone, and Lopez is going to get that big. One of the bigger guys. Let's see that kind of frame out of a shortstop very often either.
6'4", 210 pounds. Inside, this one hits him.
Well, Lopez has taken a beating this year. I mean, no matter whether it's on the defensive side of things at the plate or even on throwdowns, on pitches.
Still good to see that smile as he slowly makes his way down first base. It's hard to see that guy without a smile, to be honest.
Yeah.
Even when he got hit in the lip, before an inning even started, he was still smiling. He had a little bit of work in the dugout after that happened, but was all right. Got right back in the game. Another shift on for Kent Schmidt to the right side. Hitzer starts him on with a low breaking ball.
Boy, that game feels like ages ago. That game against home against Chatham, where it feels like a lot of things started clicking for Falmouth, but that was just over a week ago.
For the 9-7 victory, Schmidt pulls out the bunt. No one home, third base side. That is an infield single to perfection by one of the bigger bats for Falmouth.
That's what I love about Schmidt's game. I mean, he's not afraid to squirt out a buddy. You can see him smiling. Extra motivation from the Falmouth dugout as you see him beat it down to first base line, too. Someone that I think more than anybody, obviously a level with so many good players, just takes what the game gives him more than anyone. I mean, he's really a pretty big power hitter that only had 5 home runs at Georgia Tech last year. He had 397.
And he probably would have hit more this year, too. He missed about 20 games due to an injury. Swing and a miss in the first one for Bear Harrison. Lopez stands at second, Schmidt at first. 1 gone, bottom 6. Red Sox leading 3-1. Commodores have been a team that is known for coming back so far this season. When they trail in games, they hit over 300 and have 38 RBIs. Can they tack on here? Harrison dunks one into right. Lopez getting the stop sign at third. But the bases are loaded for the Commodores.
Yeah, this is a couple of big base hits for Bear Harrison. Kind of just get right. It was very good once that streak started against Orleans the first time he went yard with his 2 home runs. A decent streak after that, but it's been cold since.
Big chance here for one of the newest Commodores in Ryan Zuckerman. Game number 5 for him here in Falmouth. That's a slider tail away for ball 1. Bases are loaded with just 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. Potential tying run at second base in Kent Schmidt. A called strike on the outer third. Middle infield ready to turn 2 for the Red Sox. They've only had 11 double plays halfway through the season. Zuckerman down the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, and again, we had this, obviously not bases loaded, but a runner on third with less than 2 outs. 2 innings ago for the Commodores. All you want right now is just to get the runner in from third. At least cut the deficit a little bit. Take advantage of the sacrifice situation.
Swing and a miss. Pitzer goes back to the slider and has Zuckerman reaching for out number 2, and that's a big one.
Yeah, pitcher's done that twice now with the runner standing on third base. Brought the strikeout with him. Actually, check that. That was Newstrom last time. It wasn't a strikeout. It was a ground out with the infield in.
Another big spot for one of the newest Commodores, Tristan Salinas. He is 2 for 2 in his second game here with the Commodores. Goes after the first one, well in front of that one. Twisted around like a pretzel.
Yeah. That was an awkward pitch. You could even see the smile from Salinas after that, too.
When they have a swing like that, those guys know.
Yeah. All they could do is laugh it off.
Of course. Just missing a little bit high. 1 ball and 1 strike. Lopez at third, Schmidt at second, Harrison at first. Salinas has already made a couple of nice defensive plays out and left today. 8 games with Orleans before coming over to the West Division with Falmouth. Breaking ball, a called strike. That slider has been that go-to pitch, and he's worked it to perfection tonight.
Yeah, it's looked really good. And I've been, maybe a little bit surprised by how much he's used it. But, I mean, if it's working for you early on, why go away from it?
1-2. Swing and a miss. Has Salinas swinging out of his shoes for out number 3. Pitzer struts off the mound knowing he left the bases loaded and plenty of food on the table for Falmouth that goes uneaten. Commodores trail 3-1 as we are through 2/3 of this ball game. We go to the top of the 7th. Red Sox leading 3-1.
Hi, my name is Matt Burgess, General Manager here at Falmouth Country Club. We have a unique 27-hole public golf course with a beautiful layout that is family-oriented. Kids play free here at Falmouth Country Club. Getting on the course is quick and easy with our app. You can book tee times, get yardages with GPS, use our interactive scorecard, track your stats, and receive exclusive in-app offers. Falmouth Country Club is a true Cape Cod classic and a local family favorite.
See you on the course.
Hi, I'm Michael Kasparian, President of the Falmouth Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber is here for the benefit of the whole community. Whether you're a local business or a visitor, Falmouth has endless offerings, from its beautiful beaches and historical sites to its local shopping and eateries. The Chamber bridges the 8 villages, providing visitors with all the tools to make their trip one to remember. Our visitor center is located in downtown Falmouth, just off of Main Street. Come by and meet our team, the Falmouth Chamber of Commerce, your community connection.
Hi, I'm Zach Johnston from Cumberland, Maine. I'd like to give a special shout out to my host parents, Paula and John, for being great people.
Top of the 7th, you know what that means. It is Homer's Dance Party, joined by the Black Dog here on Bark in the Park night. Yes, we are through 6 between the Commodores and the Red Sox. Take a look at how we got here so far. Tarnished that big blow in the 5th inning with a 2-run home run. That's the big difference so far. And also, the runners in scoring position has not been pretty tonight for Falmouth.
Yeah, I mean, just basic baseball 101. 1 run on 10 hits is very rare and usually not a good thing.
Early shot for Jack Bell out to left field. That's over Salinas' head, and 1 hops the wall. That's going to easily be extra bases. He'll be held up there with the leadoff double.
Jack Bell's just had a really nice day. I mean, that RBI single back in the 2nd, a simple approach, and another at-bat that was really early in the count where he swung. Another one right here on the first pitch of the inning. Bell is just ready. Saucer just got too much of the plate on that one.
Bell was one of those guys that entered in as one of the guys lower on the totem pole in the average category. Just 129 entering this one. He's got a 2 for 3 effort. First extra base hit for him on the summer in game number 14. Leadoff man has reached, and now here is the true leadoff hitter, A.J. Nessler. Strike on the bunt attempt. Matt Saucer trying to hold things down for the Commodores. Allowed 2 hits in his first inning out of the bullpen last inning. Got a total of 17 hits in this ball game with just 4 runs. You don't see that a whole lot.
No, it's rare. I think, too, both of these teams, look at the last few games, have played very high-scoring games. Commodores, it feels like, every other day you're just switching off between a thrilling 7-6 game like last night against Katuitt or this kind of pitcher's fest 3-1, but it hasn't been the normal pitcher's duel. Again, where you said 17 base hits.
And the Commodores have kind of taken a book out of the Red Sox with struggles on the base pass. Whitey entered this ball game with 22 outs on the base pass. That included, in this month alone, Ben, more caught stealing than stolen bases.
Which, again, for this league has just been really rare. Some of the best runners in the league and new battery duos, pitcher and catcher duos, trying to get timing down.
That's kind of where the problems have lied for Whitey. Runner takes off here on the hit and run. Chop to the right side. Newstrom on the backhand, and he makes the play. Bell up to third. As the Red Sox try to stay aggressive here in the top of the seventh. It really has been their demise, though, is those caught stealings. 2-6-1 in the month of July. You just looked to just about a week ago. They had a 2.5-game lead on Brewster in the East Division. That has been erased.
Brewster's had a roller coaster of a season, let me tell you.
Infield in. Lopez in the backhand trying to get home. Can't do so in time.
Yeah. First of all, outstanding play by Lopez to keep that ball in the infield, but I think that's one you got to make it. You have a chance at first. It's not a horrible decision because, again, I don't know if he really has much of a chance at first base, but I definitely think he has more of a chance at first than he did at home plate. It was an easy jot on home for Bell.
So the run scores to make it 4-1 YD. And a 3-run deficit doesn't seem insurmountable for the Commodores. But also with Tarnish getting to first as well. Still just one gone, top 7. Red Sox 4, Commodores 1. Runner takes off, up the middle to Lopez, steps on the bag for one, goes to first for the double play, unassisted by Lopez. So he makes up for getting home, or trying to make that play at home, as Whitey tacks on one more to make it 4-1. Time to stretch here at the Gov. It's time for edition as old as time. America the Beautiful, with the Commodores trailing by 3, looking for a little bit of magic right after this.
Fans, it's time to sing America the Beautiful by Falmouth's own Troy Clarkson. Written by Falmouth's own Catherine Lee Bates, American poet and author. Troy, whenever you're ready.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crowned thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
Thank you.
Introducing Open Cape, the local nonprofit internet service provider in this region. Open Cape's fast and reliable network is 100% fiber optic, providing affordable internet connectivity. To learn more, visit opencape.org and always speak with a live Open Cape representative. Open Cape, providing choice and competition for your home or business and the official internet provider of your Falmouth Commodores.
We are Open Cape.
Hi, my name is Matt Burgess, General Manager here at Falmouth Country Club. We have a unique 27-hole public golf course with a beautiful layout that is family-oriented. Kids play free here at Falmouth Country Club. Getting on the course is quick and easy with our app. You can book tee times, get yardages with GPS, use our interactive scorecard, track your stats, and receive exclusive in-app offers. Falmouth Country Club is a true Cape Cod classic and a local family favorite.
See you on the course.
Hi, I'm Justin Osterhaus from Grand Rapids, Michigan, and I'd like to give a special shout out to my parents and my brother, Becky and JD Osterhaus and Brady Osterhaus.
Bottom 7 here from Gov Fuller Field. The Cape League All-Stars shining once again on July 19th. Next Saturday at Red Wilson Field for the 2025 Cape Cod Baseball League All-Star Game. Don't miss an action-packed day of All-Star Day festivities. You can buy your tickets today at capecodbaseballstore.org. Talked about it a little bit earlier, but go check out falmouthcommodores.com and see Whitman Clark, one of our communication interns, letting you know all the latest on the All-Stars that will be heading to Red Wilson Field in Yarmouth next Saturday.
Whitman Clark, great articles, even better head of hair. It's got a nice flow.
Unbelievable lettuce. Leadoff man in the 7th here for the Commodores, Ashton Wilson, looking to kickstart a little bit of offense with the Doors trailing by 3. With Tyler Pitzer still on in relief for Scott Pickler's squad. This will be his 4th inning out of the bullpen. Yet to allow a run with 5 hits, 4 strikeouts. 2 big ones, Ben, to end the 6th inning to leave the bases loaded.
Yeah, and it kind of feels like back to the beginning of the season for Falmouth, where we saw that first week they left a lot of runners on and struck out a decent amount too. I mean, this is a Commodores team that's come a long way. They struck out 16 times on opening day this year, and people forget that because of how good of an approach they've had at the plate recently.
33 strikeouts were second most in a Cape League game since they began tracking that data in 2010. Called strike against Wilson, 3 balls, 2 strikes. And we walked in on game 1 saying, this is the standard of pitching? Wow, these games are going to last 30 minutes.
Well, it took a little bit of time for hitters to figure out the wooden bats, but now you definitely see some higher scores. It's not just Commodores who have been on that trend.
Good take by Wilson. It's a leadoff walk for the Florida Gator, who is on for the 2nd time tonight.
It's a good approach. I mean, I know that last strikeout for Wilson was very frustrating. Didn't think that was strike 3 after he fought off a couple of pitches and left off some really close pitches. It's rewarded with a walk.
Here is the 9-hitter Chris Newstrom, 1 for 2. Single back in the 3rd, rounded out back in the 5th. Infield shaded up the middle for YD. Another look at that slider from Pitzer, drops in. It has been very, very impressive to watch him utilize that pitch. Goes to it once more, and Newstrom went around on the swing. I think another interesting note too, Ben, is Pitzer starts on the first base side of the bump. So that slider starts in at hitters. He kind of has to almost go diagonally.
That's true. That is an interesting angle.
Bouncer in the dirt. Wilson takes off for 2nd. Throw down. Not in time. Excuse me. In time. Couldn't exactly see that out call from Joe LaBella over at 3rd. Well, what a game it's been for Garrett Wright. He has punished these potential run stealers.
He's been awesome today for YD. And a couple of them have been late steals on a ball that's in the dirt. I think they can get a good jump. Maybe gets a little further away from right than runners initially think. But I'll tell you what, the Commodores are just leaving so many guys on base, on top of a lot of guys being thrown out on the base paths, too. I mean, it is not a good recipe.
Two balls, 2 strikes to Newstrom, 1 gone, bottom 7. There's been 5 outs on the base pass with the 6 left on base. It's not a great ratio to have.
No. 3 of them thanks to right behind the plate, a back pick at 3rd, and then a runner getting thrown out trying to take home on a single.
Feels like Garrett Wright is ready to make that jump from Bowling Green out to Tennessee already.
You might have a chance to throw out Ashton Wilson in the future as well. School, Tennessee, Florida.
He's got his future teammate a couple feet in front of him, and Chris Newstrom.
Think they've introduced each other yet?
Hopefully. This one nearly hits him. And either way, it's ball 4 for Chris.
I mean, if you just look at the box score, go down and take out all of the side notes talking about, guys caught stealing and runners thrown out, you'd think this Falmouth team's got a lot of runs today. I mean, a lot of walks and a lot of base hits. It truly is a spectacular number when you look at it for just one run on those 10 hits today. They've walked a couple times.
I mean, there's only been 2 guys that have not reached base in this one. Carl Schmidt currently at home plate, one of them, and Antonio Morales on deck.
Subtracting that bat, though, for Schmidt, too, because it's funny. He's the only guy. He's the only guy who has an RBI.
Yeah.
And one of the only 2 who hasn't reached base.
One ball, one strike to Schmidt. Scott Pickler has been known for really only using maybe 1 or 2 arms out of the bullpen per game. Even look at last night where the reliever went longer than the starter. That might be the case here already with Pitzer. Recording 1 more out than the starter Chris Downs. And that bullpen has been put to work, but they have delivered as one of the better ERAs on Cape Cod.
Well, the bullpen is just so important, and that's why YD has been one of the better teams on Cape Cod this summer.
Earned run average of just 3.70, Harwich just a little bit in front.
And those are 2 teams. You might look at the lineup, look at the roster, and be like, I'm not sure if they're one of the best teams in the league, but that bullpen is so big.
Wave on and a miss from Schmidt. Strikeout number 5 for Tyler Pitzer for out number 2.
Yeah, it hasn't been Schmidt's day despite the sac fly, and you can tell the frustration. It feels like we don't say that many days. Just, again, just the consistency of Schmidt.
And we will have a mound visit for YD. Doesn't look like Tyler Pitzer wants to come out of this ball game. But he will give the baseball away to Scott Pickler as we will have a pitching change. YD still in control, leading 4-1 over Falmouth. There is a runner on first with 2 gone in the bottom of the 7th. We'll tell you who the new arm is for the Sox after this.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings, they are ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
Introducing Open Cape, the local nonprofit internet service provider in this region. Open Cape's fast and reliable network is 100% fiber optic, providing affordable internet connectivity. To learn more, visit opencape.org and always speak with a live Open Cape representative. Open Cape, providing choice and competition.
New pitcher on for the Red Sox. It is the rising redshirt junior from UC Irvine, Ryder Brooks, getting the baseball. He inherits a runner on first with 2 gone in the bottom of the 7th. Just his 2nd appearance on Cape Cod. Just went one inning of work. One of the new additions to the Red Sox bullpen.
Second big West arm to come out for the Red Sox today, too. Showing the conference that a lot of schools put a lot of care into baseball, and baseball is definitely the best sport.
The Anteaters. That Big West logo, we talked about it even beforehand. That is a phenomenal conference
Very
logo.
Very creative.
Yeah, it absolutely
They
is.
combined the B and the W.
Yep, and the 3, too.
Yeah. The 3?
Yeah.
I never saw it that way.
Yeah.
Why would there be a 3 in Big West?
I don't know. I just thought it would have when I see it.
Well, I guess it does look like a 3.
It does, yeah. A couple of more warm-up pitches for Ryder Brooks. He comes from a pretty athletic family. His dad played volleyball at Ohio State, and his mom went to UC Santa Barbara. And Brooks doing a little bit of entrepreneurship, if you will. He's finding local live music back home in Fountain Valley, California. Thumb Coast Live last May. He wants to find local music, promote that a little bit easier in the county.
Well, that's a really cool story.
Go to his website, thumbcoastlive.com. He's trying to bridge the gap between promotion and performance. Go give it a look. Here's his first pitch to Antonio Morales, who ropes it down the left field line. It's a fair ball. Newstrom up to second base. So Morales, a nice welcome for Ryder Brooks in the ball game with a single.
It wasn't going to be long that you leave Antonio Morales down. He was 0 for 3 before that one. And that's what makes this Falmouth lineup so special is just, I think, the 1 and 2, having Carl Schmidt, Antonio Morales. Rarely ever is one of them off, but even if one is, it's not the worst thing in the world.
Here is Adrian Lopez, who was hit by a pitch last inning.
Talk about he's always smiling. He's in the box smiling right there, too. He died down a little bit. Must have made some sort of joke to Garrett Wright.
They are conversing right now. Lopez elevates one into right field. Medium depth for Braden Dowd. Teammate to teammate for out number 3. Nothing going again for the Commodores in the bottom of the 7th. And despite those 11 hits, just 1 run on the board. Red Sox in front by 3. We go to the 8th right here on Cape League TV.
You'll always be safe at home with the Diana Lucivero Group at Compass Real Estate.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
On behalf of the Cape Cod Baseball League, we would like to thank the following league partners for their continued support: Cape Space, Cape Cod 5, Cisco Brewers, Cape Cod Healthcare, Hampton Inn, Franklin Sports, Highline Cruises, Jersey Mike's, and of course, thank you to Major League Baseball for over 50 years of support.
Hi, I'm Jackson Minesco from Ocean City, New Jersey, and I want to give a quick shout out to my mom.
Commodores and Red Sox, one of 5 games in action tonight. Another slate of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Let's take a round at our league storylines. Of course, the All-Star game going on next Saturday. Number 11 Cape League alum in the Futures game, Charlie Condon, who was part of the Commodores just a couple of seasons ago. But always in this league, you will find stars, whether they're in the minor league ranks or even in the majors.
And this is the time of year where you're going to see some teams maybe get a little bit worse, but obviously for good reason, with some guys hitting to the MLB draft. Of course, a lot of guys for Falmouth are on a couple of guys transferred from smaller schools to bigger schools. Caden Eschman and Mike Anu.
Gasparino right at the glove of Zuckerman for route number 1. He has made some hard contact in this one, but just right at the defender. Nice for him to go back home to UCLA. Grew up in Los Angeles. His dad is the vice president of baseball operations for the Dodgers. Armando Briseño for plate appearance number 4 for him. Reach on an error by Zuckerman back in the second. He's made a couple of nice defensive plays as well in the field. Has been right into the action, where he was one of the better shortstops this past season for Long Beach State. Was put on the watch list for the Brooks Wallace Award, the best shortstop in the country. Pops up one here into right center field. Morales comes on and makes the play. There is 2 outs in the top of the 8th.
Yeah, I think Briseño is going to have a pretty big impact for YD moving forward. If not at the plate, definitely on the defensive side of things. It's a lineup or a roster that's got a little thin on the infield with a lot of the guys they've lost.
Cody Miller played a huge part in that. He was a guy that was a staple over there on the left side of the infield. Carreras up the middle, couple of hops for Lopez, vacuums it up, zip to the cross for out number 3. Quick work for Matt Saucer in the top of the 8th, but can his offense pick him up and put the Commodores back in it? We'll just have to wait and see. Red Sox 4, Commodores 1 as we go to the bottom of the 8th.
You'll always be safe at home with the Diana Lucevero Group at Compass Real Estate.
Hi, I'm Jim Murray, owner of Falmouth's historic Clam Shack, now Jim's Clam Shack. Located on scenic Falmouth Harbor, Jim's Clam Shack is a destination for the best seafood and sunsets on the Cape. We're open 7 days a week, so stop by for lunch or join us for dinner on the rooftop deck. Bring the entire family to try our wide selection of seafood and kid-friendly options. We deliver the freshest products to your plates daily. Jim's Clam Shack, a proud supporter of the Falmouth Commodores.
What's up? I'm Ken Schmidt, first base from Georgia Tech, and you're watching Cape Cod TV.
Commodores fans, join us this upcoming Tuesday, that is, as we honor the late, great Jeff Trundy, the longtime manager here in Falmouth for over 25 seasons. Head out to falmouthcommodores.com for more information on those ceremonies to honor a man with a great amount of legacy here in Falmouth. And now with Jared Saltamacchia taking over as the new manager for the Commodores, looking to lead this team to a championship, which it hasn't seen since 1980. That is the longest drought here on Cape Cod.
Red Sox have a few since then, too?
Yes. I think it's 10, in fact.
Yep.
They've won all 10 during that span.
Since Falmouth won their last one.
Correct.
It's a team that finished at the top of the East Division last year in the regular season. Couldn't make it to the championship series, though.
It was that Harwich team that snuck into the postseason after a real struggle in the month of July and eventually worked their way up to being Cape Cod champions. Falmouth currently second in the West Division. I should say tied for first with Hyannis. He was currently trailing Wareham 3-1 in the top of the 8th. Ryder Brooks still out there for the Red Sox. Down the count, 2 balls, 1 strike to Kent Schmidt.
We had a conversation with some of the other broadcasters just about our, a little over halfway through the season predictions on what might happen to the playoffs this year. It's hard to say. I mean, this year's one where there's not a clear favorite out of anyone. I mean, YD has the second best record in the league. Brewster's worked their way back up, but Brewster still lost a lot of guys. Also, I can't pick a team that's really necessarily 100% out of it. I mean, you look at Cotuit sitting at 8-12. If you ask us, who the Commodores have seen the last couple weeks, feels like Kettleers are one of the better teams that Falmouth has seen, just in terms of, eye test and whatnot.
The leadoff walk for Schmidt. I really wouldn't be surprised, Ben, if there was somehow a 5-way tie for first in the West at the end of the regular season.
And a 5-way tie for fifth, too.
Yeah. That's also possible. Yeah. tough to do, but definitely in the cards with how it feels like everything is just so clumped up there in the division. It's really hard for one team, whether that's at the top end of the division or the back end, to find some sort of separation. There was another mound visit here for YD after that leadoff walk. And Scott Pickler is going to make another change for his Red Sox, who still lead 4-1, bottom 8. Runner on first in Kent Schmidt after the leadoff walk. We'll tell you who that new arm is for the Red Sox after these quick messages here on Cape League TV.
Hi, my name is Matt Burgess, General Manager here at Falmouth Country Club. We have a unique 27-hole public golf course with a beautiful layout that is family-oriented. Kids play free here at Falmouth Country Club. Getting on the course is quick and easy with our app. You can book tee times, get yardages with GPS, use our interactive scorecard, track your stats, and receive exclusive in-app offers. Falmouth Country Club is a true Cape Cod classic and a local family favorite.
See you on the course.
Hi, I'm Michael Kasparian, President of the Falmouth Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber is here for the benefit of the whole community. Whether you're a local business or a visitor, Falmouth has endless offerings, from its beautiful beaches and historical sites to its local shopping and eateries. The Chamber bridges the 8 villages, providing visitors with all the tools to make their trip one to remember. Our visitor center is located in downtown Falmouth, just off of Main Street. Come by and meet our team. The Falmouth Chamber of Commerce, your community connection.
Hi, I'm Zach Johnston from Cumberland, Maine. I'd like to give a special shout out to my host parents, Paula and John, for being great people.
Bo Rudy, the new pitcher out there for the Red Sox, the rising senior, transfer incoming to Tennessee after 2 seasons at Kennesaw State, where he was pretty good there with the Owls. Sub-3 ERA, a 6-1 record, 76 strikeouts. And he has been a go-to guy for Scott Pickler this summer in appearance number 9, which is one of the most on Cape Cod. He inherits the runner on first with nobody gone in the bottom of the 8th. Red Sox leading 4-1 over the Commodores.
Yeah, hard to have a more successful season than Rudy did this past year at Kennesaw State. And really, a total overall start to the career, his numbers were even better. His freshman season, only a total of 3 starts in his first 2 seasons, but 40 total appearances, 2.78 ERA, bumps up to 3.16 this past year.
Now
how about this, Andrew? 76 strikeouts to just 19 walks. Only had 5 of them
incredible.
last year.
Wow. He throws low 90s with the fastball. Has a high spin rate and a lot of vertical movement on it as well. Seems like he is ready to jump into the SEC. And he meets another SEC guy here in Bear Harrison from Texas A&M, who's having one of his better games, 2 for 3 with a double in the second. Hard cut and a miss, quickly 0-2 to Harrison. Who hasn't had a multi-hit game in just about over a week. It's been a long time for Bear. Spoils one back here.
It's always going to be tough for catchers, and you know what you're getting yourself into. It's going to be a bit more of a rotation. Harrison does have a couple of DH starts this year. He's got to start at first base as well, but mostly just playing once every 3 games. Cut down now with Mark Quattrani heading a bit north to Bourne. It's just him and McCann.
It's all about finding that new guy, if you will, that kind of really has to separate themselves from the pack in that catcher's room. I mean, McCann has had plenty of big moments this season. You think about what happened earlier in the week, that 2-run home run at Harwich to give them the lead for good. That's the count even at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody gone, bottom 8, runner on first. Commodores trailing by 3. Just inside on Harrison. The count is run full.
Boy, Rudy is dancing around the zone right now.
Starting to see that command on full display, Ben. You just mentioned it, the 5 walks to 44 strikeouts. Harrison pops it up first base side, drifting out of play.
They used Rudy last year at Kennesaw State in so many different roles, most of them in relief, but I mean, he uses the closer a couple points. He had 5 saves, also used as a fireman, someone to come in with tough situation, runners on base.
I mean, there was that span where he went about a month and a half without giving a walk. Harrison belts one into left field, and it's hooking just foul. So he stays alive, just turning on that baseball a little too early. As this battle with Rudy continues. Defensive swing. It's another piece.
It's always tough to come into a game where the first plate appearance you have is this tough, this long of an at-bat. Sometimes all your confidence can come from whatever the result of this at-bat is.
Pitch number 10 of the at-bat. Harrison sees another. Feels like an important moment in this ball game, a big momentous at-bat as you just hit on. That can potentially change the course of this ball game. Pitch number 11 of the at-bat. Harrison up the middle. Tough play for Brienzo. Across in time for the double play.
Wow.
What a flip by Briseño to find Carreras. Turns enough quickly in a massive double play for YD.
I think we've seen some good defense today, Andrew.
I think so.
Diving plays on both sides. Pinch hitter now for Falmouth.
And that is a massive strike in the heart for the Commodores as they send up a pinch hitter with Justin Osterhaus. Rising junior from Alabama. He pinch hits for Ryan Zuckerman. Nothing in 2. Just 4 outs remaining for the Commodores to try to get back into this one. Gonna be tough against this Whitey staff.
That's what they do. I mean, they take an early lead, and you even see it with some of the decisions that Scott Pickler's making. A lot of times in the Summer League, they'll let guys go, give them a couple of full innings.
Chopper first base side. Easy play for Baker to step on first for out number 3. What a play in the middle infield by the Red Sox to turn 2 to really halt the momentum of the Commodores. Red Sox still leading by 3 as we go to the final frame in this one on Cape League TV.
Are you looking for that perfect pregame meal? Supreme Pizza has you covered. Its extensive menu has everything from pies and calzones to salads and subs. And with its online ordering system, delicious food is just one click away.
It's an honor to support the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Supreme Pizza is open every day of the week. Order online or stop by their store, located at 147 T-Ticket Highway, and try a slice today.
You'll always be safe at home with the Diana Lucevero Group at Compass Real Estate.
Hi, I'm Jacob Schultz from Houston, Texas, and I'd like to give a special shout out to my mom.
First appearance on Cape Cod for the newest Commodore. The rising sophomore from Rhode Island, Jake Cullen, makes his Cape League debut. Local guy from Massachusetts up in Westford. Went to Westford Academy. Teammates with Joe Sabbath on the Rams. Made that nice run into the NCAA tournament. He gets 7, 8, 9 of the YD lineup here in the top of the 9th.
Oh, Fernando Rodney hat tilt as well, too.
How about the Rams showing up here on Cape Cod?
They had a spectacular season at the Atlantic 10. Found their way down to a regional. I believe it was the Baton Rouge regional.
Correct. They got bounced in the first 2 games of that tournament, losing to Dallas Baptist, then followed by Little Rock. After Little Rock gave LSU a little bit of a scare in that regional.
I think Little Rock was, if not the worst record, one of the worst records going into the regional. But
that's right. They won like 16 of 19 in their final games, but they still had a losing record. They gave LSU, the eventual national champions, a run for their money in that tournament.
Well, I think they had a losing record, not overall, but also in Ohio Valley Conference play.
I think they did, yes. So Cullen looking to keep this a 3-run lead for the Red Sox to give that offense a chance. Commodores average over 5 runs per game, so you really know they can strike at any point. They did so last night against Katuitt in that 7th inning, putting up that 4th spot right before the bottom of the 8th. Game was called due to darkness.
Andrew, we talk a lot about conferences and conference realignment and being in weird conferences. How about Arkansas, Little Rock, and the Ohio Valley Conference? I haven't thought about that one. It's not one of those power conferences. All I know is I live in Ohio, and I'm not anywhere near Arkansas, Little Rock.
I like to keep that on the low. We're not worried about that whole geography thing. Swing and a miss.
I think NCAA might fine me for saying that.
I think so, too. That was Dean Carpentier, the pinch hitter, on that strikeout. So that was pretty easy for Jake Cullen. Sees one batter and strikes him out to start his Cape summer.
Dean Carpentier is the 3rd USC Trojan from this past year to enter the game, though. With Braden Dowd for YD and Adrian Lopez, of course, for Falmouth.
Here's Garrett Wright, who hasn't had a great game at the dish, but behind the dish, he's been unbelievable.
Yeah.
He's thrown out 3 potential base stealers. There is a reason he was the MAC Defensive Player of the Year for Bowling Green this past year, where he had over a hair over a 99 fielding percentage. Pops this up to the right side of the infield. Schmidt into foul territory. Hauls it in for out number 2. Mentioned that a little bit earlier, Ben. His versatility. He played 5 positions this past year, and really did pretty good at all of them.
You hear a lot of utility guys who can play a lot of different positions. And, you know, that happens. Every team's got 1 or 2. Very rarely is it someone who can also catch, and maybe is a primary catcher, like Wright is.
Called strike to Jack Bell. 2 for 3 in this ball game. A double in the 7th came around to score to add to that Red Sox lead. Went 1 for 2 against his teammate Trevor Baumler a little bit earlier. That matchup split right down the middle in today's contest.
RBI single and a strikeout. An RBI single is, right now doesn't make a huge difference.
1-1 is inside to Bell.
It's always great, though, to get your first appearance. Now, too, if you're calling, get some confidence up against 7-8-9 in a lineup. Doesn't have to face the heart, but it's the 7-8-9 that really feels like has had a bit more success in the top of the lineup, specifically with Bell.
Bell into center field. Morales couple steps back. Makes the play. 1-2-3 in the first inning on Cape Cod for Jake Cullen. Can the offense pick him up, potentially tie this ball game, or even win it? Commodores need 3 to tie, 4 to take home the victory. Can they do so in the bottom of the 9th? We'll just have to wait and see right here on Cape League TV.
Are you looking for that perfect pregame meal? Supreme Pizza has you covered. Its extensive menu has everything from pies and calzones to salads and subs. And with its online ordering system, delicious food is just one click away.
It's an honor to support the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Supreme Pizza is open every day of the week. Order online or stop by their store, located at 147 T-Ticket Highway, and try a slice today.
You'll always be safe at home with the Diana Lucevero Group at Compass Real Estate.
I'm Ben Royo, shortstop from Texas A&M, and you're watching Commodores Baseball on Cape League TV.
A reminder that this broadcast is a copyrighted production of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Any unauthorized duplication, retransmission, or other use is strictly prohibited. Do or die time for the Commodores, trailing by 3 as we go to the bottom of the ninth on another beautiful night here in Falmouth, Massachusetts. Bo Rudy on to shut the door. Came in last half inning after the leadoff walk given up by Tyler Pitzer, and he induced the double play to Bear Harrison. So 7, 8, 9 scheduled to hit for the Doors, starting with Tristan Salinas.
Yeah, Salinas has had a pretty good day. 2 for 3 after that strikeout in the 6th inning.
Down on the count, no balls, 2 strikes here. Rudy looking to speed Salinas up just a little bit. 0-2, swing and a miss. Back-to-back at-bats with a strikeout for Salinas, and that's how we start the bottom of the ninth.
Commodores 2 outs to work with, obviously, but a couple winnable games on the docket coming up. But again, it feels like all these games are winnable. Talk about no clear-cut favorite team in this whole league, let alone the division. And go to Wareham tomorrow night for an off day on Monday, and then get to play. A couple Bourne, Orleans, couple teams under 500. And you do get some of the Giants so far this year in Hyannis and Brewster.
And Rudy continues to pump the strike zone. 0-2 to Ashton Wilson. And he's 1 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout. On the ground, a slow chopper to Carreras. Flips underhand. And the Commodores down to their final out.
Well, those are just quick hands from Carreras. That is not as easy of a play as Carreras makes it look, especially with the speed of Ashton Wilson. Coming up and having to twist your body a little bit, get that flip over.
Last chance for Falmouth. It is Chris Newstrom. Goes after the first one, pops it up first base side. Baker drifting to his left, and he makes the play. And this is a final. Red Sox come into Gov Fuller Field, take care of business due to a good pitching effort. YD wins this one 4-1 over Falmouth. Commodores go back to 500 at 11-11-1. And just a low-scoring affair, Ben, that Commodores just could really never find that offensive footing.
It feels kind of like back to square one, where we're at a post-game show talking about how Falmouth just needs to hit better with runners in scoring position. They hit well today. 11 base hits out, hit YD 11-8. It is so rare to see one run with 11 base hits, a couple of walks, and still just the one run. YD only made one error, too. But the mistakes on the base paths and the runners left on base is going to haunt Falmouth tonight.
And Falmouth doing a little bit what YD does, and that's getting out in the base pass, and it's kind of what led the Red Sox to a little bit of this slow stretch in the month of July. And Commodores, you kind of look at every point in the game where there was kind of a chance to come back in this one, then you'd have that moment where it kind of flubs out, if you will, and that eventually leads to that loss tonight.
Yeah, and again, it's one game out of 40. These games are going to happen. But I think, too, one of the frustrating parts is you're playing some of the better teams. Last time Falmouth played this YD team, the offense is kind of the opposite. Every time they had an opportunity, it was gas pedal, never let up. It was a high-scoring 9-9 tie. This the duality of these Commodore teams that we've seen in the last couple of weeks. Not necessarily good and bad. It's more the offensive explosion and the pitcher's duel type games. Really still trying to figure out what this Commodores team is.
About that good balance between pitching and hitting was not on the same note tonight as the Commodores fall 4-1 to the Red Sox. So with that win, YD has taken this season serious. They tied about a week ago. Now they get to 2-0 for the Red Sox, 2-0-1 with one more meeting in the later part of July. So with that win, YD goes to 13-8-2. Still not in front of the East Division, trailing by 1 point to Brewster. For Falmouth, still in that second spot as that Hyannis ball game finishing up. But that'll do it for us from Gov Fuller Field tonight. For our producer, Dan Papillo, our director, Kyle Kalima, third member of our crew, Ryan Martin, Ben Haller, I'm Andrew Del Piana saying so long and good night. We'll see you tomorrow night when the Commodores take on the